Company.
Time to head live to the stadium for a preview of tonight's action with the WPKY Sports Crew. The Caldwell County Tiger pregame show is on the air.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to high school football on WPKY. Tonight, the Caldwell County Tigers go on the road to take on Fort Campbell, and they'll play the Falcons in a game that has big-time playoff implications for both teams. We'll take a quick break, and when we come back, Bob and I will start breaking this one down between the Tigers and the Falcons. That's next on the Farmers Bank pregame show on 1580, 103.3 WPKY, and online at WPKYonline.com.
You'll find over 30 years experience to work for you at U-Ride in Princeton. They are hometown proud and ready to serve your vehicle needs from start to finish. And they do it all
John, what do
safely.
you think? I think it sounds pretty good.
Variety and quality vehicles along with on-the-lot financing. And of course, you can always apply online at uridesales.com. Stop by or call for an appointment today with one of their friendly sales staff at U-Ride on the Marion Road in Princeton. 270-365-3018. Hometown proud. Go Tigers!
Celebrate 25 years of Planters Bank with 2,500 points. Introducing the Planters Bank 25-year celebration special. Earn 2,500 You Choose Rewards points and get a free Visa check card with every new checking account open. And they'll add 2,500 You Choose Rewards points to your Visa check card balance. That's like getting $25 in your account before you even get started. That's their way of celebrating 25 years with you. Planters Bank, 25 years of great things. Member FDIC.
As a community-owned enterprise, the Princeton Electric Plant Board provides services to the people in the Princeton area. One of the services they provide is to make sure the lights are on over our fields and courts for our Caldwell County Tigers. From everyone at the Princeton Electric Plant Board, good luck to all the Caldwell County Tigers and hopes for a safe season. And a big electric roar to their Tigers, Preston Burrell and Lily Hoare.
This is Alan Watts with Your Ag Edge, inviting you to join me Monday through Friday at 5:30 a.m. for the WPKY Morning Ag Report. We check in daily with Caldwell County Agriculture Extension Agent Shane Bogle, get the latest from fellow farm broadcaster Max Armstrong, take a look at the latest livestock market reports, hear the latest edition of Traveling to Bluegrass, and check the opening grain market with Hopkins Elevator's Ben Westerfield. That's the Morning Ag Report from Your Ag Edge Network on 103.3 FM and 1580 AM WPKY.
Proud supporter of Tiger Sports, Big John's Barbecue says, "Go Tigers."
Welcome back to the Farmers Bank pregame show here on WPKY. Farmers Bank and Trust Company, your home of the Tiger debit card. That's the card that gives back to future athletes of Caldwell County. Their team wants to wish the Tigers good luck this season and to let you know they are there to support you. You can bank on it. Dennis Stevens and Bob Hayes here for the call tonight. John Miller in the truck. Back at the station, Bryce Thompson. And on the sideline tonight, the whole Hall of Fame stat crew, Bob, of Todd Griffin, Chris George, and Gary Goodacre. So we've got everybody here. A big game for both of these teams, Caldwell County and Fort Campbell, here from the base tonight. These teams are looking to try to get to that all-important number 2 seed and a home playoff game. Caldwell County would have to win tonight and next Friday night against Murray at home at Tiger Stadium to have that number 2 seed. Murray plays Ballard tonight, so you look for Murray to win that one. It's all going to come down to be decided in about 2 weeks who has to go on the road and who gets to stay home the first week of playoffs.
You're exactly right, Dennis, in that scenario. And for us, the home field advantage starts tonight with this game here in Fort Campbell versus the Falcons for us to take that first step toward that home playoff advantage.
You can't win both of them if you don't win the first one. So tonight is very important for Caldwell County. These two teams not having the best records coming into the game. Caldwell County at 1-6 on the season. Fort Campbell at 2-4 on the year. But this is a season where Caldwell County started out 0-5 and can actually be that number 2 seed come playoff time here in about a month.
Yeah, and that's what you want your football team to be doing at this time of the season, is playing their best football. And there's no doubt in my mind that the Tigers are doing that right now. We've had some tremendous opposition this year, some high-ranking people we've had to play with a young football team without our normal 1 or 2 running backs and receivers and so on and so forth. So I think we've held up as well as we could in that, and now's the time to take that next step forward.
Bob, you talked about Caldwell County's schedule. I think that's what's going to separate us, much like it did when we talked about Ballard. We came into that game 0-5, but we play a very tough schedule early in the year. We played Christian County, Madisonville, Hopkinsville, a very good Crittenden County team, a highly ranked Union County team, all of that before that first win against Ballard. You look on the other side of the sideline tonight, Fort Campbell has played and beaten Muhlenberg County. They had losses to Todd Central and Trigg County. Trigg on a roll this year, just their first loss last weekend. They had a 22-6 win over Fort Knox, and then the last two games have been thumped pretty good. Mayfield 50-7 and Murray 49-0. So you've got to believe that even though that early season schedule left us 0-5, it did not define this team. That was some competition, that you had a new quarterback, a sophomore quarterback coming in, getting great experience. You had other players starting to step up. Everybody starting to realize the roles they had to play in, and I think it's going to pay off this week and hopefully next against Murray.
That's what you hope for, Dennis, that what learning experiences we've had the first 7 games of this season, we can take to the field and apply what we've learned and go from that point forward, and I think that will judge whether we have a successful season or not.
Just about 26 minutes before we kick this one off between the Tigers and the Falcons. This is the Farmers Bank pregame show. Bob, it starts, and we've talked about this just about the start of every Farmers Bank pregame show all season, with Luke Parker. Talk about some of the strides he has made since that first game against Christian County this year to where he's at tonight, and leading this ball club like somebody that's been here a little bit longer than 6 games.
Well, Luke, as a freshman last year, hardly played at all, was in the competition for the starting quarterback slot last year, came down with COVID and missed a couple weeks, key to his development in that role. And really, I don't know how many JV games we played last year, but he just didn't really have a lot of experience at the quarterback position, and really not a whole lot of experience on the Tiger team at all. And so this year he's thrown into the fray and had to learn on the job, on the run, as they say. I think he throws the ball real well. He's learned, I think, when to get rid of it, when not to. He's capable of running the football, pretty deceptive moves. Last week he was 8 out of 10 throwing the football, and so he's improved, definitely improved, and these games are where you can see him take a major step. That's what I'm looking for him tonight, to do something that is a big step forward for him.
And I think one of the things you have to look at with Parker, he came into the year with not a lot of experience, like you said, but on the year, only 4 interceptions, and that's against some pretty stiff competition. So I think that bodes well tonight with the emergence of Xavier Bumpus really having a good season. We'll talk a little bit more about Xavier as the pregame goes on, but in warm-ups, Xavier was catching everything thrown his way tonight. So you look for that combination to maybe make a little bit of noise tonight.
I think you're right. I think Xavier has just about ready to blow the scene up as far as his emergence as a receiver on the football field, and I look for that hopefully to get more underway tonight than it has been in previous games. And you're right, for Luke to have only thrown 4 picks against the teams we've played is truly outstanding. So he's developing, the whole team is developing in this role that I see us being stronger here in the last 3 or 4 or 5 games of the season.
Just about 24 minutes before we kick this one off, Bob, before we go to our first break tonight, let's go ahead and do our injury report, brought to you by Caldwell Medical Center. Caldwell Medical Associates Orthopedic Clinic is your one-stop shop for orthopedic care to get you back out on the field. Our skilled team of providers have all the experience and knowledge to treat and diagnose a wide range of orthopedic services. Caldwell Medical Associates is a proud sponsor of Caldwell County Athletics. And, Bob, we mentioned this a little bit earlier in the pregame show because a pretty key player tonight is probably gone for the season in Cooper Mobley.
That's correct. That's what Coach Barnes said in his pregame interview, and probably out for the season, although you don't know how quickly a person can heal given 4 weeks or whatever, 5 weeks. So he's definitely out tonight. Otherwise, we're all healthy tonight.
We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we'll talk about the Tigers' ground game. That's next on the Farmers Bank pregame show here on WPKY.
Hey, sports fans, you wouldn't want your favorite sports team to play only offense or defense. When it comes to insurance, why settle for someone that can handle only your auto policy? At Goodwin Insurance, they take care of all your insurance needs. You deserve someone that provides comprehensive coverage and is working alongside you in your community. Contact them today for a quote.
Goodwin Insurance of Princeton, Cadiz, or Marion, or online at insurewithgoodwin.com.
Running a successful business takes planning, patience, and a whole lot of elbow grease. We believe you have what it takes in spades. That's why First Southern National Bank is here to support the growth of your business with solutions for working capital loans, online services, checking, and treasury management. Prioritizing relationships built on true care for you and your employees is what makes our approach different. Get to know us at fsmb.net, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Do you want to get into the best shape of your life? Okay, let's be honest. You just want to get into some kind of shape? Then now's the time to get to Trilogy Performance Sports and take advantage of their $100 monthly family plan. This offer allows every member of the family living in the house to use the facilities at Trilogy as well as join the classes. What a deal! Don't wait. Get in shape. This offer is only for the month of September, so start exercising now and run to Trilogy Performance Sports to sign up. For more information, go to trilogyperformancesports.com.
When we say
classic hits,
we mean
any way you want it, that's the way you need it, any way you want it. Add to the ball. Band on the run. Band on the run.
listen to WPKY worldwide at
WPKYonline.com. WPKY.
Herb Hayes Furniture and Mattress wishes all the Tiger athletes good luck this season. Go Tigers. Give it your all from Herb Hayes Furniture.
Welcome back to the Farmers Bank pregame show. Farmers Bank and Trust Company, your home of the Tiger debit card. Dennis Stevens and Bob Hayes here with you tonight as Caldwell County on the road, on base here at Fort Campbell to take on the Falcons. Bob, you look at the stats a little bit, and Fort Campbell has allowed 1,332 yards of rushing. Does that immediately tell us that this is going to see a big night for Jameis Carnahan to get a lot of handoffs?
I think we are going to obviously focus and feature the running attack early on for sure, Dennis. Yes, and as quick and as elusive as Jameis is, he could be setting up himself for a great night rushing-wise.
Jameis on the season having a very good year rushing, 85 rush attempts, 425 yards. He's averaging about 61 yards a contest. We would love to see that average padded just a little bit tonight here against Fort Campbell.
And you're right. We've played some great competition this year, and you're just not running against little sisters of the poor, so to speak,
right.
out there. And his 50, 60 yards a game have come against some really stout defenses.
Yeah, you've seen some really good defenses. One thing tonight that's going to be a telltale sign, I think, early, Bob, our offensive line is playing good football. You look out during warm-ups, they're probably going to give up, as they do most weeks, the size battle against Fort Campbell. Fort Campbell has some big kids on that line.
And what we'll see tonight is how quick and agile those big kids from Fort Campbell are. Obviously, if they're giving up that many yards rushing, you just get a hat on them maybe and open the hole, and the running back is gone. So they're not dominating as you would expect. So I look for us to be really successful tonight in the rushing game.
Speaking of those linemen, the C3 Electric Power Line Player of the Week goes to a player each week that Todd has on his show on Thursday morning. C3 Electric Sales and Services, Generac generators, new construction, remodels, and more. They have over 25 years of experience, so you can trust C3 Electric for quality service and installation. Beautiful night here at Fort Campbell. Temperature should be right around 60 degrees at kickoff, down into the low 50s by the time this one's over, close to 10 o'clock tonight. So a great night for the kids to be out on the field. You don't look for a lot of cramps or anything like that we saw quite a bit in the heat of the season. It seemed like it was never going to break early on.
Yeah, and Dennis, you're right. And let's talk about this field that we're looking at tonight. It is turf. It's beautiful. You can read the lines and know where the hash marks are and the sidelines and all that beautiful looking field. And it's a privilege to call a game from this type of facility.
And it is one of those dual fields where they play soccer on it as well, so it is striped for soccer. About 4 years ago, we actually saw a play that was ruled out of bounds, but the player was actually outside the soccer stripe, and the call was a mistake, so that can play a factor. We don't look for it to be much of one tonight, but like you said, a beautiful field here at Fort Campbell. Bob, 17 minutes before we kick this one off, let's talk a little bit before we go down for the Go Green field report for the first time tonight after the next break. Talk a little bit about Fort Campbell and what they bring. You kind of expect Fort Campbell to go to the air quite a bit. They've got about 5 kids that have 13, 14 catches on the year. They spread it out, and Caldwell County is really going to have to play good, solid defense in the secondary and linebacker positions tonight.
Exactly, and just looking at what we discussed with Coach Barnes in the pregame interview, they really only have one back other than the quarterback who's really run the ball effectively at all tonight, and so that means that our people that have their spies, if you will, on the quarterback and the running back, I think then we can drop back people into coverage to cover these other guys. And if you get pressure on the quarterback, it doesn't matter how good he is or how well he throws the ball. He's running for his life.
16 minutes before we kick this one off, a big one for the Tigers and the Falcons tonight, as both of them looking to get that number 2 seed. Nobody's going to overtake Mayfield at this point. That's a given. They will be the number 1 seed. But that number 2 seed means a home playoff game to start the playoff season. That's a big step that's on the line tonight here between the Tigers and the Falcons. We'll take a break. When we come back, we'll go down on the field for the first time tonight with Todd and the Hall of Fame stat crew. That's next here on the Farmers Bank pregame show.
Fortner Gas Company has been serving the propane needs of Western Kentucky for 70 years. You'll find offices in Princeton and Cadiz. They're your local and family-owned propane supplier. Browse their website to discover the many services and products available. You can shop in person or online, and they can answer any and all questions in person or on the phone. If they're already your propane supplier, they say thank you. If they're not, they would love to be. Fortner Gas Company, a family tradition of service since 1951.
You Ride in Princeton just might buy your vehicle. They are always looking for quality inventory. So if you would like to sell yours, talk to the nice folks at You Ride. Whether you're looking to buy or sell, You Ride is here. They are hometown proud and here to deliver the same great customer service they always have. Stop by or call for an appointment with one of their sales specialists. Call 270-365-3018. On-the-lot financing is available. You can even apply online at uridesales.com. You Ride on the Marion Road in Princeton, hometown proud.
Are you struggling to afford healthcare or medications? Let Health First help you. Whether you are insured, uninsured, or underinsured, you will still be cared for at Health First Community Health Center. We offer financial and prescription assistance to all those that qualify, which is based on income and household size. Contact our office at 1-877-667-7017 for more information, or visit our website, healthfirstchc.net. Same-day appointments and walk-ins are welcome. At Health First, your health is our first concern.
At YourSportsEdge.com, we strive every day to continue to bring you the gold standard in high school sports coverage with more on your teams and your players.
Where did it show up there?
And while they are not gold, those Crystal Awards we have won for doing what we love to do are pretty cool too.
That's something we see every day.
The Kentucky Broadcaster's Best Digital Product Award winner. YourSportsEdge.com.
Bradley Furniture wishes all the Tigers good luck this season.
Welcome back to the Farmers Bank pregame show as we get set for the Tigers and the Falcons here from Fort Campbell. Just under 14 minutes before we kick this one off. And, Bob, before we go down to the field, let's talk about the coin toss. I'm sure they'll have it at some point. You never know post-COVID when they're going to have that thing, but we have some very nice sponsors for our coin toss.
And you're right, Dennis. It's brought to us tonight by Farless Realty. Are you ready to sell your home? Call Farless Realty today and let a realtor sell it for you. Ready to buy a home? Don't waste precious time. Farless Realty can help, and interest rates are still reasonably low. They will work hard to find you a home that will fit you and your family and your budget. Contact Farless Realty at 270-365-5058 or stop by 323 South Jefferson Street in Princeton. Check out all their listings on Facebook and at farlessrealty.com.
Bob, our sponsor for all of our Go Green field reports are Go Green. You can contact Adam French anytime. If you've got some yard work to do, landscaping, you name it, Adam is the best in the business around Princeton. So give him a call. It's Go Green Lawn Care, and they are our sponsors for our field reports. And for that, the first time tonight, let's go down with Todd Griffin and the Hall of Famers.
All right, Dennis, thanks. We're down here on the sideline as the Tigers get ready to take on the Fort Campbell Falcons in a big district contest. And Gary mentioned it during our Thursday sideline report that I'm sure people think, well, one team's 1-6 and the other one's 2-4. Why do you guys keep calling it a big game? But there's still a lot of playoff seedings to be decided out there.
Oh, the winner of this game has got a much better path toward getting a home playoff game, especially Caldwell. If they can get this win tonight, it sets up a pretty steep challenge to play Murray, but at least Murray's at home this year, so we've got a good opportunity in the next 2 weeks to settle a home playoff game.
Now, we thought maybe the playoffs would kind of just fall into place for everybody and that, we'd get a number 2 seed and we'd know exactly who we were going to play from the other district. But the other district got a little messed up last night because they played a couple of games, and the outcomes kind of threw that district into a little disarray.
The Thursday night schedule over in the 2nd District had Hancock visiting McLean and Butler taking on Ocath. Well, Ocath did beat Butler 35-12, so that was somewhat expected, but McLean came up with an upset at home, 21-14 over Hancock. So now you have a scenario where McLean defeated Hancock County. Hancock had previously defeated Butler, who had previously defeated McLean. So you're going to have a scenario where RPI is probably going to determine the 2, 3, and 4 seeds, and we're likely going to play one of those 2 teams, whether we're the 2 seed or the 3 seed. And right now it looks like if RPI is the way they go, if Ocath wins the district outright with an undefeated record, looks like we could be hosting Hancock County right now, I believe. So a lot could change because RPI is very sensitive, and their wins in later games could have a good impact. And it looks like it's time for the national anthem, Todd.
Our national anthem here at Fort Campbell as the Tigers get ready to take on the Fort Campbell Falcons in a key Class 2A First District contest tonight. Tigers coming in 1-6 and 1-1. The Falcons of Fort Campbell at 2-4 and 0-2. See the flags now leaving the field here at Fort Campbell, and Gary, we were talking about the playoffs there a little bit. It looks like Mayfield is probably the number 1 seed from our district. I think everybody is, we're cool with that. But 2, 3, and 4 are still up for grabs. And so that's kind of what the Tigers are playing for here tonight, to get into a situation to play Murray next week for that number 2 seed.
Well, you definitely want to have as high a seed as possible, especially for the home game aspect of it. But you really can't be looking at who your opponent's going to be. We don't know if it would be, in any scenario, McLean, Hancock, or Butler. I'm sure that the coaching staff will eventually, maybe on the off week, look at some film, break down the teams just superficially to see what might be the way to go offensively and defensively for the Tigers. But right now we've got 2 very important games before our bye week, and the key that I see tonight is stay healthy and figure out what's going to work against Fort Campbell. I know they've had a change in quarterback, but we want to get our personnel right. We've had 6 games that we've lost, but some of them, I think, gave us opportunities to see what might work in future games. And obviously in our win, we saw what worked against Ballard. So I think that the team has got to look at personnel and figuring out what's going to be the best for tonight and for 1 week from now against Murray.
Yeah, the big dog in each district. You got Mayfield in the first district, Owensboro Catholic in the second district. I think those things are set, but it's really going to be interesting to see how things go. And if you're not familiar with the playoffs situation, we have gone back to playing cross-district. You know, the last couple of years we've just gone back to Murray, it seems like, in the playoffs. But this year we're going back to playing cross-district. But, Gary, the difference is that only counts for the first 2 rounds of the playoffs. Then things kind of change a little bit.
What will happen is the bracket will be set for the first 2 rounds, and then when you get to round 3, you're down to 8 teams in each class. 4 would be considered West, 4 would be considered East. So what would happen is the RPI, this new mathematical formula that the KHAA has devised, will rank or seed the teams in the West that remain 1 through 4, and likewise 1 through 4 in the East. 4 in the West will go to 1 in the West, 3 in the West would go to 2 in the West, likewise in the East. So it's possible theoretically that if say Mayfield and Owensboro Catholic both make it, they may not necessarily play each other as they would have in past years. So they're doing this to try to get better state finals matchups, and I think it's succeeding.
So a big game here tonight from that standpoint. Tigers and Falcons on post. Dennis, back up to you guys as we get ready for kickoff here tonight.
All right, thank you, Todd. Thank you, Gary. It's 6 minutes to go before we kick this one off. That's going to wrap it up for us on the Farmers Bank pregame show. Farmers Bank and Trust Company, your home of the Tiger debit card. That's the card that gives back to future athletes of Caldwell County. We'll take a break. When we come back, we'll have tonight's prayer and get ready for tonight's kickoff between the Tigers and the Falcons next on WPKY.
Tonight, all our Falcons will be facing off against Caldwell. Are you ready?
At Lowe's, every pro is an MVP to us. That's why MVP's rewards members can earn bonus points on select products from brands like DeWalt, Purdy paint applicators, and GRK screws. Then redeem your bonus points for exciting rewards like tools, grills, Lowe's gift cards, and more. Join Lowe's MVP's Pro Rewards today to start earning. Bonus points calculated before taxes and fees after applicable discounts, if any. Subject to program terms. While supplies last. Visit Lowe's.com/MVP's bonus points for details. Now through 10/28.
Ray Magliozzi here for eBay Motors. So you have to drive 300 miles to your cousin's wedding. Okay, so it's his 4th. But you know what they say, 4th time's the charm. Well, here's the problem. Your tires are as bald as I am. But lucky for you, eBay Motors has tires for just about every make and model. Plus wheels, lug nuts, jack stands, and more. 122 million parts. Do they have tissues? Oh, good, because I'm definitely a crier. Get the right parts at the right prices. eBay Motors. Let's ride.
And welcome back to Fort Campbell, Kentucky, as we get set for the Tigers and the Falcons. Dennis Stevens and Bob Hayes here for the call with you tonight. John Miller in the truck with us as always. Back at the station, Bryce Thompson. And you got the whole crew on the sideline tonight, Todd and Gary and Chris George making the trip over here tonight on base. 4.5 minutes before we kick this one off, time now for tonight's prayer before the ball game, and we'll start it. Holy God, thank you for another Friday night. We ask that you protect each student that steps on the field tonight, and we also ask that you bless the efforts of each student in ways they never thought possible.
And further, Lord, we ask you to give comfort to those people suffering losses in the recent Hurricane Ian in the Florida coastline, those floods in eastern Kentucky, the tornado victims in western Kentucky of last year. We ask you to give courage and sportsmanship to the players tonight, patience and understanding to the coaches, wisdom and knowledge to the game officials, and lastly, peace to us all. We ask these things in your precious name. Amen.
Amen. Bob, some interesting area games around. A lot of people getting into the bye weeks. Of course, our bye is in 2 weeks. We'll play Murray next week in Princeton, then have a bye week, and then entertain Trigg County to round out the regular season. This season has flown by. But tonight also features Henderson County at Owensboro Apollo. You've got Tillman going down to Tennessee to take on Henry County. That's in Paris. Callaway County and Hopkins Central. Crittenden County also in Tennessee tonight taking on Liberty Creek. Madisonville North at Logan County. Interesting game, Ballard at Murray. We'll see what Murray brings to the table in that one as we get set for those guys here in about a week. And then Webster County going to Indiana, and they'll take on Union County tonight. So a lot of teams with the bye week, including the team that beat Caldwell County last week, the Mayfield Cardinals.
You're right. Very interesting week, and next week really gets more interesting if you're a Tiger fan.
We've talked about the scenario. You win tonight, you win next week against Murray, and you're likely the number 2 seed and a home playoff game. But to get there, we have to take care of a much improved Fort Campbell squad.
Can't look ahead, that's for sure. When you start doing that, you're going to pay the price.
Our kickoff this season is brought to you by Purcell Tire. Purcell Tire says, let's kick off this season with a vehicle checkup. Keep your vehicle running great so you'll never be late for school, work, or the ball game with the help of Purcell Tire. Highway 62 West in Princeton, where they wish the Tigers well. Let's go down for a Go Green Field report and update the coin toss tonight.
All right, Dennis, Fort Campbell has won the coin toss, and they want the football tonight. So the Tigers will be kicking off as we get things underway here, technically on the Tennessee side of Fort Campbell.
Thank you, Todd, for that. Officials gathering for their pregame prayer tonight as we are nearing kickoff time. And it is next here on WPKY, so stay tuned. Tigers and Falcons kickoff is next.
It's a Friday tradition. The smell of popcorn is in the air. The WPKY sports crew is ready. Get on your feet, Tiger fans. It's kickoff time. Caldwell County Tiger football is on the air. Don't miss a moment of tonight's action. Listen live on the free WPKY app, worldwide at WPKYonline.com, and on the air at 1580 103.3 WPKY.
Back to Fort Campbell, Kentucky as we get set for kickoff. Players out on the field. Still about a minute left on the clock. We'll see if they make them count it down. Fort Campbell won the toss in a rare taking the football off the coin toss win, Bob. You usually see teams defer to the second half. Fort Campbell does not want to put the ball in the hands of Caldwell County's offense this early, so they are going to receive. Kicking off for Caldwell County is going to be Timothy Nichols. You're listening to Tiger Football on WPKY Princeton. Tigers in the white jerseys with the blue pants, gold helmets. Fort Campbell in all blue uniforms with the familiar white helmets, and they are set to knock heads here in Fort Campbell. Bob, this one should be a fun game.
Looking forward to a really, really good game, Dennis.
Pretty good crowd here for Fort Campbell. As we said, temperature at kickoff is going to be right around 60 degrees, clear skies, down to near 52 by the time this one finishes tonight. It is going to be Timothy Nichols to kick it away for Caldwell County, waiting for the official to give the okay. Turf field here at Fort Campbell. Bob, do you think that makes any difference for Jameis Carnahan tonight? Maybe a little quicker field.
I think it helps him.
It is Nichols still waiting.
Maybe he's waiting for me to do the Cozy Living commercial, Dennis. I don't know.
Well, he's going to kick off. We'll get to that right after this one. He puts it in play. Kicks it, bounces at the 15, picked up at the 16, took a funny bounce. Caldwell County with great pursuit. They will drive Fort Campbell back. Forward progress may have gotten him to the 17, and that's about it. Bob, tell us about our friends at Cozy Living.
The first quarter is going to be brought to us tonight by Cozy Living Interiors and Boutique. Been under the ownership and management of Pam and Hab Haberlock for the past 3 years. Beautiful furniture, bedding, accessories, and gifts. Cozy Living Interiors and Boutique, everything a home should be. Fort Campbell huddling on the sideline before they send their offensive unit onto the field. And for the call here in the first quarter, my friend Dennis Stevens.
Bob, Tigers are 18-17-0 against Fort Campbell, and they have won the last 8. We hope to continue that streak tonight and get set for a big game against Murray at Princeton next week. Fort Campbell going back to Darren Frederick, set out last week's game, but back in the starting lineup tonight. Frederick with a 4-receiver set to his right side. He's going to put one player in motion. You hear the coaching staff a little bit in the background. As Frederick takes it, they go to the air early. Low throw is incomplete at the 30-yard line. Second down and 10 coming up for Fort Campbell. And, Bob, you talked with Coach Barnes a little bit in the pregame show. They're going to throw the ball quite a bit tonight. We kind of look for. They've got about 5 kids that can really catch.
And, and that ball was in between 2 of the receivers, so we're not sure who was designated on that one.
Frederick takes a snap out of the gun, a little dump pass, complete at the 20 to the 25 and pushed out of bounds at the 26. That is number 9 for Fort Campbell. And, Bob, can you pull your roster up here where you have the the Fort Campbell players,
yes,
please. Thank you. 3rd down and 3 coming up for Fort Campbell. And, of course, no number 9 listed on their roster there. So we'll try to check on that. Frederick out of the shotgun, empty backfield, 3 to the right, 2 to the left. Frederick drops back. Gus Fox gives some pressure. Frederick dodges him and gets close to a first down, knocked out of bounds at the 30, and that's going to be enough if that's where they mark it for a first down. And the signal is first down, Fort Campbell. Just underway here on base. Not quite 30 seconds gone, no score as Fort Campbell picks up the evening's first down. It'll be 1st and 10 from the 30 for the Falcons.
Fort Campbell actually had about 1st and 11 there because they moved the sticks on this side, Dennis, between plays. So it was actually, 11 yards on that first down.
We'll take any help we can get. Frederick going deep down the sideline into double coverage, and this one overthrown. Fortunately, Caldwell County with great coverage back there with Luke Parker and Canyon Richardson. Frederick was looking for number 3. That's Amari Waddy. Waddy is a senior wide receiver. Does have 4 touchdown pass catches on the year. Averages about 33 yards a game.
So far they've run 4 plays, Dennis, and 3 of them have been passes. So I think that's what we're going to see tonight is a lot of passing from Fort Campbell.
They really spread the field, and that's where you've got to watch maybe a draw or a quarterback keeper. When you start getting that secondary looking for all those receivers. Trip set this time. Little run-pass option. Frederick's going to keep it and be met at the line of scrimmage for no gain.
Maybe loss of a yard. We'll see.
He pulled it back away from Keyshawn Dixon, the leading rusher on the season, and it was a keeper for Darren Frederick, but he picks up. They're going to give him a yard forward progress on the play, so 3rd down and 9 coming up for the Falcons. We have about 11 minutes left here in the first quarter, just underway from Fort Campbell. Beautiful evening for some football here at Fort Campbell, finally getting some of those cooler temperatures. He's going to put Dixon in the backfield beside Frederick. Frederick takes a snap. Dixon in to block. Frederick with some pressure escapes across the 30, 35, and hit at the sideline about 2 yards shy of a first down. Good pursuit by Caldwell County as they were able to keep Frederick from reaching that marker, and it's going to bring up 4th down and short. We'll see how much Fort Campbell wants to gamble right here, Bob, early in this one.
The 37, pickup of 3 yards on that play, or 6 yards.
4th down and 3 coming up for the Falcons. Caldwell County does drop one back to punt, and a timeout called on the field. We'll keep this one right here, John, and tell the folks about our timeout. Timeout was taken by Caldwell County. And timeouts are brought to you by Travis Construction and Concrete. For all of your construction and concrete needs, it's Travis Construction and Concrete. They do driveways, porches, foundations, basement walls, decorative concrete, remodels, and much more. Good luck, Tigers, and here's to building a successful year from Travis Construction and Concrete.
What we saw in pre-game warm-up was Fort Campbell was practicing that little short kick. Not in regular punt formation, but maybe only about 8, 9, 7 yards back from the line of scrimmage. So we'll look for that here.
Yeah, you talk about the run-pass options. There's almost a run-punt option on this one as they will line up and maybe not kick it, maybe will. They'll drop Xavier Bumpus back. Fort Campbell with the snap. It's a high snap, gets away. Wofford dives on it. Caldwell County is going to recover it at the 20-yard line. Camden Wofford with the fumble recovery on the bad snap. Do a little rearranging here in the press box, and we've got her under control now. Great play by Camden Wofford. Went in, dived on the ball, and Caldwell County gets the big break early. They're going to mark that one at the 19-yard line while the teams change fields. Let's go down for our first Go Green field report of the game with Todd Griffin.
Couldn't get much better field position than the Tigers have right now for this first drive, starting at the 19. Need to do something with this one, though.
Parker set to take the snap out of the gun. Hand off to Carnahan, up the middle. Good gain across the 15 and down to about the 14-yard line. We talked in the pregame, Bob. We expect a big dose of number 20, and the first play goes to Carnahan with a good gain up the middle.
I think that running game, Dennis, may be there all night. We'll certainly obviously pick up on that trade as the game goes along.
Wofford slotted in to block, Handoff again to Carnahan, tries to bounce it outside and does. Flag on the play. Carnahan just shy of a first down, but flags from every direction as Caldwell County going right to left here in the first quarter. It's going to be a hold against Caldwell County on the play. And apparently a pretty blatant one, Bob, because flags were flying from every direction. So that will back Caldwell County up. They'll spot this one at the 25-yard line is where it's going to end up. 9:35 left in the first quarter. No score, but Caldwell County with a big break early as they recover a high snap on the 15-yard line of Fort Campbell.
Second and about 16 for the Tigers.
Compact set in. Bumpus, the near side receiver. Parker looks over the defense. Sets for the snap, takes it, rolls to his left, looks down the field. Good block by Carnahan. Pass was high for Bumpus and almost picked off after the deflection. But Bob, what a play by Jameis Carnahan to pick up the block and give Parker time to throw that football.
And if he had not picked up that block, we would have been looking at another 6, 7-yard loss.
Absolutely. Instead, 3rd and 15 coming up for Caldwell County. Out of the game is going to be, I think that's Maddox. Luke Maddox out of the ball game, and Davis in for Caldwell County. Two-back backfield, 2 receivers to the right for Parker. Parker in and out of the hands of Logan Chambliss on the far side. 4th down and long coming up for Caldwell County. We'll see if the Tigers are in field goal range or if they're going to keep the offense on the field and try to pick it up, which looks like they are going to do.
It would be probably about a 42-yard field goal if we went for the field goal.
Instead, Caldwell County keeps the offense on the field. Parker will take the snap at the Fort Campbell 31-yard line. And they did not get Fort Campbell to jump. Now he looks to the sideline like he's changing. Have you seen the play clock anywhere, Bob? I don't see one here either. Parker sets for the snap, low snap. He takes it, drops back, looks it over. Good protection. Now he's being flushed out of the pocket, tripped up, but still has the football across the 25, lowers his head at the 21 and brought down. That's going to be shy of a first down by about 2 to 3 yards, and Fort Campbell will take over as the Falcons make the stand on 4th down. 1st and 10, Fort Campbell with 9:08 left to go in the first quarter. No score. Each team has had 1 possession so far.
That penalty was a tough one for the Tigers right there. Kind of backed them up, got them behind the sticks. And, guys, it's tough to get the ball at the 19-yard line on the other side of the field and get turned away empty.
Fort Campbell back out on the field. Their quarterback is Darren Frederick, a junior. He hands it off. Caldwell County hits him in the backfield, and this is going to be for a loss. Keyshawn Dixon with nowhere to go for Fort Campbell.
Mark that back by the 17, Dennis.
Looks like they're going to mark it at about the 18.
That was a good play that time by Wolford because he was there for the initial stop, but Dennis, he got his hands up around the helmet face mask area, so wisely he backed off a little bit. You can see one of the officials start to go for a flag, but then back off because he let go.
Fort Campbell facing now 2nd and 14. They're going to keep a couple of backs in to block. One flanking each side of Darren Frederick. Frederick hands off to Dixon, and he's going to be hit right at the 20-yard line, maybe got to the 21 on the play. Fort Campbell hasn't kept it on the ground much early here, but they do in that case, and it'll bring up 3rd down.
And bring up about 3rd and 11 for the Falcons. 2 running plays in a row, as Dennis said.
Fort Campbell likes to throw, but Caldwell County also has 8 picks on the year, Bob, so that might play into our hands. Defensive secondary, one of the strengths for Caldwell County. Handoff is going to be coming around to the right side. Caldwell County is going to snuff that one out, and Fort Campbell will lose about another yard on that one. On the carry was number 2, Jonte Almued, a senior. So Caldwell County's defense looking good early in this one, Bob.
Especially the line play is looking great.
That's going to send number 88 for Caldwell County, Xavier Bumpus, back. He'll receive this ball somewhere near midfield. Fort Campbell with a better snap this time, gets the punt away, and it's a pretty good one. Bumpus bobbles it at the Fort Campbell 48, able to pick it up, but he's in his own half of the field, tries to turn the corner, though, and make up some of that ground, knocked out of bounds near the midfield mark. Flag comes in after the play. Bumpus bobbled that when it went all the way back near the 30. He was able to pick it up and get back close to midfield. But we'll see what the flag is right at the end of that play as Bumpus was taken out of bounds near midfield. Still waiting on the conference of officials to see what the flag is going to be for, as the Tigers will bring the offense out. Penalty is against the Tigers. So Caldwell County will move back but still have possession with 7:02 to go in the first quarter. No score. Tigers' second possession of the night. They'll spot this one at the Tiger 35-yard line. If Bumpus handles that cleanly, Bob, Caldwell County has it at the Fort Campbell 48-yard line. But instead, still pretty decent field position.
And with a bigger field to operate in, Dennis, that might be to our advantage.
Davis in the backfield now along with Carnahan. Parker out of the gun, only one receiver each way. Now two receivers to the far side. Parker takes a snap, hand off to Carnahan. Carnahan hits the line and keeps the legs churning for a gain out right at the 40, maybe the 41 on that one, and that was all effort by Jameis Carnahan.
I think they're going to give him the 41, Dennis.
Excellent run on first down as he looked like he was going to be stopped near the line of scrimmage or just past. Ends up picking up 6 for 2nd down and 4 now for the Tigers. Good run by Carnahan as we're down to 6:30 to go in the first quarter. No score here. Trip set out to the left for Parker. Single receiver to the far side is Chambliss. Maddox goes in motion, takes the flip, gets to the outside across midfield, and then some. Pushed out of bounds at the 45-yard line of Fort Campbell. Good blocking on that side.
He's a nice little player. He's fast.
So good job by Caldwell County picking up the first down, and our first downs are brought to you by Lake Barkley CrossFit. You can never be too healthy, too strong, or in too good of health. Lake Barkley CrossFit has classes designed for anyone at any fitness level and always free to come and try. Lake Barkley CrossFit, where the athletes train. Caldwell County in Falcon territory, ball spotted at the 46-yard line.
My niceness of helping this kid with these chains is going to run out.
Caldwell County with one back in the backfield. That's Carnahan. Two receivers to the left. Chambliss all the way across the field to the right. Handoff to Carnahan. Hits the line, spin move at the line of scrimmage. Picks up a couple out to the 43-yard line.
Well, I wish we had a receiver that could take advantage of 9. He's flat-footed.
And Caldwell County with the run on first down. We'll have 2nd and 7 coming up. Caldwell County puts Wofford on the left side. It's going to come out with Maddox and with Bumpus on this side. Trip set to the left. Maddox in motion again. Fakes the handoff. Parker to Bumpus, complete on a little curl route at the 40, on his feet across the 30. And a tackle at the 25, saved a touchdown as Bumpus had nobody after that. They'll mark him down at the 24. Another Lake Barkley CrossFit first down, but Bob, that one almost broke it to the end zone.
Pickup of 19 yards, and he only had to get past one last Falcon defender and could not do that.
Good catch, and we talked about Xavier in the warm-ups. He didn't miss anything. Made a good grab on that one, picked up the first down. Tigers at the Falcon 24-yard line.
Knocking on the door once again.
Trip set package again. Wofford the inside receiver for Caldwell County. Chambliss alone on the far side. Parker takes a snap, fakes a handoff, and he's going to be thrown down for a loss. No way to get rid of that one. Loss back to the 31-yard line. Make it to 32. Parker, I think, was going to flip that over to Carnahan out in the flat, but just too much pressure. Didn't want to take the chance of that one being a fumble. Just tucked it, took his medicine, and it's going to be spotted at the 35-yard line. 4:14 left to go in the first quarter. No score. Caldwell County's had good field position a couple of possessions tonight, but seem to be going backwards a little bit after getting well down the field. See if they can correct that right now. 2nd and 21 coming up for the Tigers. 2 receivers each side of Luke Parker. Carnahan in motion. Low snap. Parker picks it up. And again on the curl route to Bumpus. Bumpus across the 30 and tackled at the 28-yard line. Caldwell sees that play is going to be there a lot, Bob, because they've hit it 3 times tonight already, but not as much gain after the catch by Bumpus. 3rd down coming up for the Tigers.
3rd and about 14.
See if Caldwell can at least get close enough. If they don't get the first down, do you try for the field goal? That's an area Caldwell County, I think, has the distinct advantage in tonight is the kicking game. Parker takes a snap, rolls. He's got some pressure. He rolls all the way back to the 40. He's got to throw that one down the field and out of bounds. Flag after the play. Flag back in the middle of the field. That ball was thrown out of bounds on the far sideline, but a flag by the official at the 24-yard line. See what this one is going to be called.
Illegal man down the field on the Tigers, so this is going to go back on Caldwell.
And will Fort Campbell decline the penalty?
On that first drive, we had the penalty that kind of stopped us. On the second drive, it was the sack that kind of knocked us back out of range.
Officials asking Fort Campbell whether they want to decline or accept the penalty. The official telling it is against Caldwell County, and it's going to be declined by Fort Campbell, bringing up 4th down for the Tigers. Decision time again for Caldwell County.
I think it would be tough to try to kick a field goal into the wind. There's not a lot of wind down here, but what it is, Caldwell County would be kicking directly into it.
And a much cooler night than usual, than we were used to. I think it's in range of Caldwell County's kicker, Timothy Nichols. But like Todd said, Bob, it's a cool night. A little bit of breeze tonight here at Fort Campbell, and it looks like the Tigers are going to keep that offense on the field and go for it on 4th and 14. This is something I didn't think we would have, Bob, is 3rd and long, 2nd and long, 3rd and long, and then 4th down. I thought we would really have more 2nd and 3s or 3rd and 4s tonight.
Fort Campbell is quick. When they get past the line of scrimmage, that's Luke is running for his life.
Parker down the field and incomplete. Had Carnahan in the flat, instead tried to go to Maddox inside the 20, and it's incomplete. Turnover on downs for Caldwell County. Will give it back to Fort Campbell. Incompletion stops the clock with 3:07 left in the first quarter. Caldwell County has shown times, Bob, they can move the football, but still it's the penalties that are starting to shoot themselves in the foot. Penalties or sacks. So Fort Campbell will bring it back out on the field. And they will take over 1st and 10 from their own 28-yard line.
Here we go, D, let's go!
In at free safety is going to be Luke Maddox. Usually Parker in that spot. So a change over to Maddox. Trip set out to the left. Darren Frederick in the backfield, and a timeout on the field by Fort Campbell. No score with 3:07 left in the first. Back after this.
Hi, this is Daniel Ingram with H&R AgriPower. Take care of your property with equipment you can count on, like the Kubota BX and L Series compact tractors. Part of our under 100 horsepower tractor lineup, rated #1 for reliability. And Z Series mowers and Sidekick utility vehicles where durability meets speed. Visit H&R AgriPower, your local Kubota dealer, for a demo today.
Go to KubotaUSA.com for full disclaimer. Take a test drive at your Kubota dealer. H&R AgriPower, Eagle Way, Hopkinsville.
Good luck to all Tiger athletes from Bella Marie Boutique. Go Tigers.
And we're back here at Pryor Stadium. 3 minutes, 7 seconds to go in the first quarter. Fort Campbell coming out of the timeout. Now back on the field for the call, Dennis Stevens.
Thank you, Bob. Frederick at quarterback out of the gun. He'll take it, roll to his left, throws it down the field. Had a receiver open, in and out of the hands of Jonte Albued, the senior. Caldwell County had decent coverage and almost had a deflection. but it was pretty near a perfect pass by Frederick. Instead, 2nd and 10 coming up for the Falcons. 3:02 left in the first quarter. No score in this one. Caldwell County's had the opportunities, but seemed to hit a wall after pretty good field position on the first 2 drives. Third time around now for Fort Campbell. Keyshawn Dixon in the backfield. And it's going to be Frederick on the keeper across the 30 and out to the 34-yard line. Probably one of the reasons only those 2 guys, Bob, are really listed as major ball carriers for Fort Campbell is they do a lot of the RPOs, the run-pass options. And they'll pull it out and take it, look down the field, nothing there. A lot of times it's Frederick on the keeper.
And they're the only 2 people in their rushing attack.
Quick snap. I don't think Frederick was ready for it. He's going to have to scramble, lowers his head at the sideline, and it's going to be close to a first down. We'll see where they'll spot this one. I think he's going to be shy of it.
It's like about the 37, isn't it, Dennis?
I think that snap caught Frederick off guard as they do spot it at the 37. You're right, Bob. But Frederick just caught that one in the bread basket, took off running to his right. I think more out of instinct than play call on that one. 4th and 1 for Fort Campbell. They're going to try it. And it's a screen to the sideline, close to a first down. He's going to mark it at the 39, and if that's the spot, it will be enough for a first. The catch was by Al Mued. And it is a first down, Falcons. They'll reset the chains and start the clock back. Ball spotted at the 39-yard line of Fort Campbell. Good coverage by Caldwell County. Just a big kid made a big catch on that one and was able to pick up the yardage. It's going to be Frederick on the keeper, gets around the outside and pulled out of bounds near midfield. Spot him at the 49-yard line.
Another first down there, close to it anyway.
Darren Frederick with a lot of speed, and that first step is very quick. 9 yards on the first down run by Frederick. It'll leave Fort Campbell 2nd down and a yard to go at their own 49-yard line. No score in this one early. Hand off to Dixon. Dixon hits the line, and he's going to be close. I think they're going to call from the side judge, Bob, no gain on the play.
It looks like it's at the 49 again. No gain is correct.
And all they did was move the football from one side of the hash mark to the other. 3rd and 1 coming up for the Falcons. Big down here for Caldwell County. And it looks like the flags come out. Caldwell County helping with the call. False start against Fort Campbell. So 3rd and 1 turns into 3rd and 6 for Fort Campbell as we near the end of the first quarter. Penalties for both squads at inopportune times have kind of killed great field position. 3rd down and 6 coming up for the Falcons. We'll see if they go to the air. Darren Frederick having a good first quarter. More on the ground. Frederick with Dixon. Both players roll out to the left. Frederick's going to keep it himself and is not going to get it to midfield. So it's going to be Frederick out to the 47. 48. Well, let's call it 48. It's closer to that. 4th down and 2 coming up from midfield. See what Caldwell County puts out against Fort Campbell here. You've got Kenyon Richardson in one-on-one with Amari Waddy. Waddy with some speed early. We saw him. But Kenyon Richardson, really a player that's starting to come into his own as well, Bob, in that secondary.
Played Mayfield's receivers extremely tough last week.
Frederick to Dixon. Dixon takes the handoff, gets the first down and then some into Tiger territory and down at the 46-yard line. So Fort Campbell moving the football. Fort Campbell with a player injured near midfield. They're going to stop the clock and check him out. We'll take a 30-second break and be right back. No score, 26 seconds left in the first. Back after this.
Your local McDonald's wants you to know that they are ready to serve you for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Dine-in or the drive-thru is always open, and they offer curbside pickup service. To avoid the wait in the drive-thru, you can download the McDonald's app and try curbside pickup. Stop in soon and enjoy breakfast, lunch, or dinner at your local McDonald's. Proud to be a part of this community. McDonald's of Princeton, proud supporters of the Caldwell County Tigers.
Back to Fort Campbell, Kentucky. Fort Campbell with a player injured on the field. Let's go down for a Go Green Field report with Todd Griffin.
Well, Dennis, that one did not look very good. We could hear the player yelling before the play was even over. Ken Parker was the first one out there running off the sideline to help. I think this might be a bit of a delay here. It's some kind of leg injury. I can't tell if it's lower leg or ankle, but it's going to be a while, I think, before we get back to action here at Fort Campbell as they work on the player down from the Falcons.
And he does have that right leg extended. Both teams down, kneeling in prayer for that player, and hopefully he's not hurt very bad. Bob, we like these turf fields, and we think they look nice anytime you're out here, medical staff rushing out now to help out this injured player. That's one of the things that you kind of get, though, with a turf field. They have good grip. They're very fast fields. But if you get that leg stuck in that turf and get twisted, it can cause a lot of damage.
And
of course, they've improved over the years, but still.
And oftentimes, Dennis, it's unforgiving. You're right. You can be just not even really totally dug in, but just can't get that cleat out of that position before somebody crashes into your leg.
We don't have the number of that young man, but we will get that when we can. 78 is the young man, and I have your roster here. Jesse McCumbers is the young man they're talking about, and they're bringing the ambulance out on the field to load McCumbers up, so not a good sign for that young man. We wish him the best and hope it's not as bad as it appears right now. But a tough injury for Fort Campbell on that play as they picked up the first down. We have 26 seconds left in the first quarter. No score by either team, but Fort Campbell currently on a pretty good drive as they will be in Caldwell County territory when they take over 1st and 10. Let's go back down to Todd Griffin and see if he has any added information on the young man on the field.
Well, just glad that they had an ambulance right here beside the stadium. They were able to get out here pretty quickly. I just know it was a bad-looking injury and a bad sound when it happened. And, you know, there were some people on the sideline that kind of looked the other way, if that kind of lets you know what kind of leg injury it was.
And we are watching the ambulance now pull the stretcher out. They will load that young man up and take him to the hospital here on base, I'm sure, and get that leg checked out. Bob, you hate to see that anytime a player gets hurt. Every team is going to have injuries off and on through the season. It's those serious ones that take a player out, sometimes have to have surgeries and just miss most of the season after that. And you hate to see that, but we see almost weekly that happen to somebody.
That's just one of the things that when you play the sport of football, that's one of the things that can possibly go wrong is injury, and that you never like to see an injury to a person's leg like that.
Well, while we've got a minute, let's talk about a little bit about, well, first, let's tell the folks this game is not live stream. I'm sure those of you that have got on and tried it have figured that out by now. We did not have permission to live stream this one from the base, so if the government tells you no, you don't do it. So this one will be on late on YouTube. John Miller, as soon as we have the internet availability to do that and get back to town, he'll have that up so you can see the replay of Caldwell County and Fort Campbell a little bit later tonight. We are blocked from view by the ambulance right now, so Todd, if you see anything out of the ordinary as they load the young man up, you can just pop in. But Bob, let's talk a little bit again about the implications of this game. This one is a big one. Fort Campbell 0-2 in the district right now. Caldwell County at 1-1, but you get to the second seed, you get the home playoff game, and that's still on the line. That's still in play right now.
And with 26 seconds to play here in the first quarter, both teams have been feeling each other out. Caldwell County's had the advantage for the most part, being in Fort Campbell territory most of the first quarter. Fort Campbell just now getting into Caldwell County territory as we now experience this injury. They're at the Tiger 46-yard line. So the chess match continues, so to speak.
And you get into that playoff scenario. This year, of course, it's not in your district. We got to know Murray so well. We got our favorite burger joints and everything in Murray. We knew where we were going and knew where we were going to eat. This year, different. You're going to play somebody new in the playoffs at least the first couple of weeks. And that home field advantage is that much bigger, I think, this year than most by getting to play that first game at home.
Absolutely. I think anytime you can play at home and have your kids not be taken away from their set routines and parents and whatever, it does play, and then to have the local support behind you is big.
And some of these teams that we could play, that's not the 20-minute ride over to Crittenden County to play early in the season. You're going to be on the road for a little while, even Owensboro Catholic, a pretty good drive.
And exactly, and Hancock, as Gary is pointing out, the scenarios before, one team beating each other, so there's no clear-cut second, I guess, yet in that district. So you've got Hancock, McLean County, whoever else is in that Butler County. So we'll just have to wait and see, and it's a pretty good long hike up to Butler County.
Yeah, you're going to surely find out the nice restaurants in a couple of different counties this playoff season if you have to hit the road. As we said, we're in an injury timeout now. A young man suffering a pretty rough leg injury.
Guys, they have him up on the stretcher now. They're going to put him in the ambulance, and we're pretty close to the hospital here at Friars Stadium. He gives a big thumbs up to the crowd. Some of his family out there with him. Tigers give him a big cheer from the sideline. Obviously, that's his family. They're out there wearing number 78 shirts with Fort Campbell Falcons. And, again, just thank goodness there were people that were able to get to him really quickly. Ken Parker was over here standing right beside me, and he was out there, I think, before the play even got over. We could hear the young man scream during the play, and he went down face down. But you could tell there was an issue with his leg, and they were able to get out there and get him loaded up now and see if they can get that taken care of.
And our best goes out to number 78. That's Jesse McCumbers, a sophomore lineman for Fort Campbell. Hope the injury is not as bad as it appears at this point, but certainly we wish him the best as the diagnosis comes in for that young man. They'll get him in the ambulance and get both teams back out on the field as we have Fort Campbell with 1st and 10 on the Tiger 46-yard line. Bob, a lot of things we thought would happen early have happened. Caldwell County's handed the ball off a lot to Carnahan. Fort Campbell's gone to the air quite a bit, but still no team can get anything sustained going at this point. Caldwell County's had great field position a couple of times, but still ended up going backwards before failing on 4th down to convert.
And you kind of wonder, Dennis, what might be our best strategy on this next drive that when we get the ball next again. Jameis has run fairly well tonight, 4 and 5 yards a carry, but when we drop back to pass, Luke has been under pressure about half the time and scrambling and running for his life on those half the occasions he's dropped back. And when you are on the run like that, you're just not going to be very accurate. So I don't know whether we'll try to go for the shorter pass or we have 2 or 3 of the outside screen passes have been successful for us, but I almost think that we'll probably get back on the ground here a little bit shortly when we retain possession of the football.
And we can't talk about the nice play so far of Xavier Bumpus. We talked about him. We expected something big. We watched him in warm-ups, even difficult catches. He was pulling those in, so you thought maybe Xavier feels it tonight and is going to pull some of these down and make a good long run.
Xavier's got the capability. Once you get the ball in his hands, he can be very, very tough.
And the crowd cheering as the ambulance will drive off of the field. And hopefully it's better than what it looks, but either way, that young man's going to have a tough recovery, it looks like, after this injury. Players back out on the field now as Fort Campbell will have 1st and 10 from the Caldwell County 46-yard line. Just 26 seconds left in the first quarter. No score in this one. Best drive of the night by Fort Campbell for sure. Good crowd across the way for Caldwell County. Made the trip over and checked in at the visitor station. Frederick is going to keep it himself, pulls it back out, and he's going to be tackled for a loss. I think that was Fox. And a good tackle. They called the play dead. I think Fox was going to get him anyway. All the way back into Fort Campbell territory at the Falcon 46-yard line.
Loss of 8 yards on that play.
Good job by Gus Fox. He'll get credited with the sack. And zeros on the clock, so that will signal the end of the first quarter after 1. No score from Fort Campbell. We'll be back with second quarter action after this on WPKY.
This is Casey McCoy, and I'm a mortgage loan processor at Farmers Bank. One of my favorite things about our home loan process is that you can apply online whenever it's convenient for you. By applying online, your information is sent directly to our lenders. It's quick and easy and a good way to jumpstart your loan. Apply today at yournxtbank.com. Farmers Bank and Trust Company, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
For 71 years, WPKY has been your proven source for information, news, and sports. As we continue our legacy, join us weekdays at 6:30, 7:30, noon, and 5. Plus, 24/7 when you need it at WPKYonline.com and worldwide on the free WPKY app. The complete coverage you deserve from a proven partner. No fees. The way it should be. We are 1580 103.3 WPKY.
Welcome back to Friar Stadium here at Fort Campbell, Kentucky. Second quarter is going to be brought to us by Cozy Living Interiors and Boutique under the ownership and management of Pam and Hab Haberlocks. Stop by and see what Pam has for sale in the store. For the call here in the second quarter, Dennis Stevens.
Thank you, Bob. Frederick wanted a little dump pass and throws it well short, looking for number 9, and we still do not have a 9 on any of our rosters that I know of, Bob, but they have targeted him a couple of times tonight. So we'll try to check on that. Oh, DeCavius Lewis, a sophomore.
Going to bring up 3rd and 18 for the Falcons.
Just underway here in the second quarter, no score. 2 receivers each side for Darren Frederick, the junior quarterback for Fort Campbell. Keyshawn Dixon in the backfield, handoff to Dixon up the middle, and he's not going to pick up much. The pile stops at about the 48-yard line. 4th and long coming up for Fort Campbell. They'll probably punt this ball away. Caldwell County's going to drop Bumpus back deep. So Fort Campbell will kick this one away, and you're right, Bob. They really don't drop that punter back very far at all. You're talking 1, 2, 3, 6 yards, maybe tops.
He's either got to get it off quick or he might be eating that football.
Pressure by Caldwell County. He's able to get it away. Takes a bounce at the 35. Fort Campbell bounce inside the 30 and down at the 27-yard line. Number 73 for Caldwell County got into the backfield. Thought he was going to pick it up, and no 73. Maybe I read that number wrong.
Just about did get his whoever, I think.
73 is Cole Sherrill. That's a number switch that was earlier in the season. But Fort Campbell gets it away. Caldwell County will take over 1st and 10 from their own 27-yard line. Parker with the handoff to Carnahan. Carnahan up the middle, good yardage, enough for a first down. Still on his feet, out across the 40. Kept the legs churning, and it's going to pay off as he has a first down run all the way out to the 42-yard line. Great run. Nice hole opened up by that offensive line of Caldwell County. Carnahan hit it and then did a lot of the work alone after that.
That's what I thought we might try to do, Dennis, is try to establish that ground game, and then we can pinpoint our passing.
It's a good first down run. Carnahan's now is going to line up behind Parker. Wolford in to block. Handoff, Carnahan, left side, across the 45, midfield, still churning, and thrown down. Flag comes in late, maybe on the tackle, because Carnahan was really thrown forward at the end of that play. He's going to pick up another first, or is he going to be a yard short maybe?
5-yard face mask penalty is what I'm hearing.
So early call is going to be against Fort Campbell.
That'll get us first down.
And it is, and it's going to be another Lake Barkley CrossFit first down for Caldwell County into Falcon territory. Spot the ball at the 44-yard line. 1st and 10 Tigers. 10:39 left to play in the first half. 2 good runs by Jameis Carnahan to open this drive up here in the second quarter. Carnahan in the backfield. 2 receivers to the left. Chambliss near side to the right. And it's going to be a false start called against Caldwell County. I'm not sure if that one wasn't on Chambliss on this side, Bob. Looked like he kind of stood up and wanted to take a step early. It's going to back Caldwell County up 5 yards. So
back to the Tiger 49.
49-yard line. Will now be 1st and 15 for the Tigers. Parker, Carnahan to his left shoulder. 2 receivers set, same operation. Hand off to Carnahan, finds a hole on the right side, tries to get to the outside across the 45 and down to the 42-yard line. That line doing a good job this quarter so far, Bob, on this drive, opening up some nice places for Carnahan to get through.
They marked it, Dennis, at the
43. Oh, yes, 43-yard line.
43. Pick up of 6 yards on that carry.
We hoped for Carnahan to have a big game tonight because Fort Campbell had given so much offense up, over 1,300 yards on the ground Fort Campbell had given up this season. Now Caldwell County is going to spread it out with the 2 receivers set each way. Whistles are going to stop this one, and it is a timeout, Caldwell County. So the Tigers will head to the bench, and that is a Travis Construction and Concrete timeout. We'll take 30 seconds and be right back. This is Tiger Football on WPKY.
For a delicious meal, try Kay's Kitchen in Princeton. They have great home cooking, just like Mom and Grandma used to do. Enjoy cooked-to-order breakfast every day, all day. Daily lunch specials include favorites like open-faced roast beef, grilled chicken tenderloins, country fried steak, smoked pork chops, and catfish and shrimp on Fridays. All your favorite veggies, too. And don't forget Kay's homemade desserts. Open Monday through Thursday, 5 to 2, Friday, 5 a.m. to 8 p.m., and Saturday, 5:30 to 11. Kay's Kitchen, 501 North Jefferson Street, Princeton, 1 block from the courthouse.
And welcome back to Pryor Stadium here. 9 minutes, 28 seconds to play in the second quarter. Caldwell County coming off a 6-yard gain by Jameis Carnahan on that last play now. Facing 2nd and 9 for the call, Dennis Stevens.
Thank you, Bob. Caldwell County going left to right here in the second quarter. Parker gets set out of the gun. Hand off to Carnahan. Carnahan angles left. And I think the ball came loose. Ended up into the hands of another Tiger. Try to pick up the Tiger that ended up being tackled.
That was Alfred, I think, that ended up with that football, guys. It popped out, took a bounce off the turf, and, you know, a lineman lived his dream there of running with the football for a moment.
Well, let's give him some credit, Todd. Caden Alfred, the senior lineman, number 71, Johnny on the spot.
Pick up of 3 yards on the play, makes it 3rd and 6.
Carnahan in motion. Parker's going to keep it across the 40, spun down inside the 40 to the 39-yard line. 4th down coming up for the Tigers as we go down to about 8.5 minutes left in the first half. Stay tuned at halftime for the Little Caesars halftime report. Todd will have area scoreboard, halftime moments in history, and all of the stats coming up on the Little Caesars halftime report. Tigers, 4th down and 5. 2 receivers right, 2 receivers left. Carnahan to the left shoulder of Parker. Parker takes a snap, drops back, gets good protection, looks down the field, throws it complete at the 32-yard line. I think it's going to be Chambliss on the first down catch. Great job by the Tigers to move those chains on 4th down. Lake Barkley CrossFit first down for the Tigers as they are back in Fort Campbell territory trying to do some damage. No score here with 8:05 left to play in the first half. Both teams have had the ball deep in the other team's territory, but no points on the board yet. Single receiver set. Wofford stays in to block. High snap, bobbled. Parker able to pick it up. Wants to get to the sideline. Takes a hit, but it makes a little out of nothing as he's going to get down to the 32-yard line before being brought down. Back to the line of scrimmage anyway. No loss on what could have been a bad play for Caldwell County. Do they give him a yard on that one, Bob, down to maybe the 31? We'll see where the spot is going to go, but a good job by Parker.
I think it's at the 32.
32, yeah. So the high snap, Parker able to pick it up on one hop. Second down and 10 coming up for the Tigers. Just over 7 minutes to play in the half. Parker with Carnahan to his right shoulder. Carnahan takes the handoff, tries to jump it outside, and he's pulled down. Good one-on-one tackle on that side of the field. And Carnahan only able to pick up about a yard or two on the play. I think they're going to give him to the 31. And that's going to be about it for Carnahan. Fort Campbell has been a pretty decent tackling team early in this one, Bob.
Really pursue well on the outsides. That's why I say that we hit them, we got to gash them up the middle.
Third down and long, and that's one area we thought Caldwell County would be in a little bit better shape this week against Fort Campbell, staying out of the third and longs. But 3rd and 9 coming up for the Tigers. Two-back set, two receivers to the right, one to the left for Parker. Parker takes a snap, rolls to his right. He's got some pursuit. Dump pass looking for Davis. Pass was short, and Davis not able to get down to pick that one up. Will bring up 4th down for the Tigers. He had Davis open, but the pass a little bit short. Parker under a little duress, being chased well by Fort Campbell. Incompletion stops the clock at 6:11 to play. No score here so far in this half. Trip set to the right for Caldwell County. Chambliss all alone on the far side. And it looks like Fort Campbell jumped on that one a little bit. It'll be 5 yards less Caldwell County has to pick up. From 4th and 9 to 4th and 4 now for the Tigers. We'll see if that changes the play call out of that trip set to the right. We'll spot that ball at the 27-yard line, it looks like. Caldwell County looking to the sideline to see if that play call is changed now, just being 4th and 4. Parker comes back out, talks to Wofford and the receivers on the near side. Richardson and Maddox along with Wofford. Snap is back to Parker. Looks down the field, wants it all, throws into the end zone. Incomplete. Double coverage there as he was trying to get to Maddox. Parker takes a hit after the play and being helped up. But another turnover on downs for Caldwell County as Fort Campbell will take over with 6:06 to play in the first half. Caldwell County had a receiver in the end zone, but a very good coverage by Fort Campbell, and that would have been had to be a perfect throw by Parker, who was facing somebody right inside arm's length. So no score, Bob, on a game that means a lot to both teams here tonight. Fort Campbell comes back out onto the field. It looks like Parker's back out at safety. It's going to be Darren Frederick, excuse me. Takes a snap. He's going to keep it himself. Tries to get to the outside on the near sideline. And a tackle by Carnahan. The two dance right around the 30-yard line. Pickup of about 3 on the play. Carnahan had that one read well. Got to the sideline and met Frederick. 2nd down and 7 coming up for the Falcons. Play goes out of bounds, so it stops the clock with 5:58 to play in the first half. Good job by Carnahan. Bob, that's the one loss at linebacker this week. You have Cooper Mobley out. So some Tigers have to step up to fill those shoes. Frederick has Dixon to his right shoulder. A very tight trip set to the left. He's going to move Dixon to the left side as well. And it's going to be Frederick on the keeper. Hit and knocked out of bounds as he crosses the 35-yard line. Frederick, a strong kid. And we'll see where they'll mark this one. I think he got across the 35. We'll see if they spot it on the field as well. And we'll give him the 36. It's about halfway between. Third down and short coming up for the Falcons. Falcons, you might expect to run. They brought in big number 79 on that far side of that line, Bob, and that kid is a load. We'll see if Dixon got in. Fort Campbell's going to jump, so they might change the play. We'll see if he was drawn off. And it looks like they're going to walk this one off against Fort Campbell. So a break for the Tigers. 3rd and 2 turns into 3rd and 7 for the Falcons. Both head coaches, Bob, are probably just scratching their head on some of these penalties in key situations tonight.
At least we get the ball to start the second half, Dennis. That's one consolation.
Frederick has Dixon to his left shoulder. They'll keep the same formation. Very tight trip set to the left. Single receiver to the right side. Frederick drops back, gets good protections, got time. Flag down on the field, and it's going to be a hold, you would suspect, as Frederick is taken down at the 39-yard line. But it's going to be a hold on the play, usually in the position that you see that flag thrown, and in fact is a hold, so that will back Fort Campbell up. Let's go down for a Go Green Field report with Todd Griffin.
All right, Dennis, I was just going to say Caldwell County will have the option to start the second half of whether they want the ball or not. The way the defense has been playing, might be better off just kicking the ball deep and letting the defense go at it and try to get some points.
That might be an option.
These teams are a little bit stalled offensively tonight. No score here with 5:43 to play. Timeout on the field taken by Fort Campbell. We'll take a quick break and be right back. No score towards the end of the first half.
Learn about your heart health with a simple scan. The Cardiology Clinic at Caldwell Medical Center features a highly trained team of heart health specialists and years of experience in cardiac health and wellness. Our specialists provide a wide range of cardiac-specific services, offering coronary artery calcium testing, stress test, echocardiograms, sleep studies, and more, all right here close to home. To schedule an appointment, visit caldwellmedical.com.
And we're back here at Friar Stadium. Both teams still at their respective sidelines. Third down. Fort Campbell's looking at a 3rd and 17 right now. Result of 2 penalties in a row. The jumping off sides and then the holding penalty. And the teams are back on the field for the call. Here's Dennis Stevens.
Thank you, Bob. Caldwell County would do well to keep Fort Campbell pinned back here and get the good field position. Got to do it on this play as Frederick's screen pass complete at the 20, 25, and down at the 26-yard line. So good job by Caldwell County as they'll spot that at the 26. 4th down coming up for the Falcons.
The defenses have been pretty good tonight, Dennis. It's just the offenses, both sides, have to be feeling like they're shooting themselves in the foot tonight.
Yeah, it's like best of times, worst of times for the offenses. They'll seem like they're going and then have something happen and make it stop. Punt, not a good one by Fort Campbell, is going to take a Falcon bounce but barely get across midfield. And the Falcons will down this one at the Tiger 47-yard line. So another good opportunity here for the Tigers.
Sure seems to me like it's tough to build any momentum as a punter back there when you've got to take a step and kick it. You know,
they really do not put that punter back very far at all. It's maybe 6 yards tops. And if he kicks a low one, if his center gets stood up, it could be in the back of the head. So Parker, again with good field position. We'll see if Caldwell County can capitalize. Whistles will blow this one dead now, and we'll see what's going on
One of the defensive players had his pants above his knee, so he'll be sent off the field, and Fort Campbell will have to send in a replacement. They've been looking for that this year. That's been like a key thing this year, it seems like. Got to have your equipment on right.
So they'll get that young man off, get his uniform straightened out, and Caldwell County in action. Pitch goes to Carnahan. Carnahan turns it up the field and hit and brought down right at midfield. Carnahan was going to bump that one outside. It looked like Bob and saw something he liked inside, turned it up, and picked up about 3 on the play. Nose of the football touching the 50 as Caldwell County comes up for second down.
2nd and 7 for the Tigers.
Clock under 4.5 to play in the first half. Still no score here at Fort Campbell. Carnahan with the handoff. Picks his way through the line and gets close to a first down as he crossed the 45 and down to the 43. It looks like where they're going to spot it. That's going to be very close. Now I think they're going to signal. I thought they were going to signal first down. He's going to be a little bit short, they say. Third down and inside a yard for Caldwell County. Extra tight end in for the Tigers. Carnahan sets up in a deep back position. Parker looks to the sideline, now gets set again. Carnahan, handoff, first down and more as he crosses the 40, gets to the sideline, tries to sling a defender away. Flags come in on the sideline. Lake Barkley crossfit right now for Jameis Carnahan, but we'll see if it stands after the penalty flags are straightened out. Carnahan got inside the 35 to about the 33-yard line.
We think this one might be another one of those 5-yard face mask penalties on Fort Campbell.
White hat's going to come across. Personal foul face mask.
Oh, it's the big one.
It's the big one.
Wow. We'll take it.
So Caldwell County is going to have great field position with 3:38 left in the first half.
Mark it down.
Inside the 20 down to the, let's call it the 18. So big opportunity for Caldwell County here late in the first half. 1st and 10 from the Falcon 18-yard line. Caldwell County compact set up. Parker under center. Hand off to Carnahan. Carnahan's going to get dropped in the backfield for about a yard loss. Ball comes loose, but after the tackle. Whatever Caldwell did not fool Fort Campbell on that one. No gain on the play. We're going to negate the loss, but no gain. 2nd down and 10 coming up for the Tigers. Parker, a rarity under center, Bob. How many times have we seen that this season? You can probably count on both hands through 7
few,
games.
Yes, exactly.
Back in the shotgun. Parker drops back to pass, gets some pressure, still has the football, tries to throw it away and does, but takes a good hit in the process. Good job by Parker to stay on his feet long enough, knew the hit was coming. And like we said, Fort Campbell doesn't have a bunch of skinny kids up here. Flag now just comes out.
Yeah, Caldwell County had some linemen down the field on that play, guys, and I was sitting here wondering why there wasn't a flag, and we finally saw one drop, but I'm not really sure what the play call was there, but it seemed like Caldwell had at least one lineman, maybe 2, that were way down the field.
That was one of the latest flags, Todd, I think you're going to see, because both teams had gotten to the respective sides, and the official called it.
It's the accurate call. You just sometimes don't always see it.
Illegal man downfield, Caldwell County.
Back to the
23-yard line. It looks like they're going to place that football with 2:54 left to play in the first half. No score.
It'll be 2nd and 15.
Parker is going to put Carnahan in the deep back position directly behind him. One receiver each side. Extra tight end for Caldwell County as they face 2nd and 15. Snap back. Handoff. Carnahan comes to the right side, 20-yard line, and taken out of bounds at the 19. Carnahan with another tough run.
Just 5 yards.
Carnahan has been a workhorse, Bob. It's nothing new for him to carry the ball several times a ball game, and in fact probably expects it. Ball's going to be spotted back at the 20. They don't even give Carnahan the advance inside the 20. Third down and long coming up for the Tigers, as this play probably takes us to 2 minutes. Parker, Carnahan to his left shoulder, 2 receivers each way. Parker drops back, and that one's incomplete. Overthrows, looking for Xavier Bumpus. And fortunate that one wasn't picked off. It really sailed out of Parker's hands over Bumpus's head into the coverage. Incompletion stops the clock with 2:06 to play.
We might see the field goal team, Dennis.
I was kind of like you, Bob. Some points on the board. The way these teams are both having trouble getting to the end zone. But it looks like the offense is going to stay on the field for Caldwell County. 2 receivers each side. Wolford and Chambliss are your receivers on the near side. Parker drops back. Fort Campbell goes into coverage over the middle and incomplete. And I'm not sure quarterback and receiver were on the same page in that one, because Parker threw that one to a spot and nobody within about 5 yards of it. Another turnover on downs stops it with 2:01 left to play in the first half. And a scoreless battle here at Fort Campbell. Falcons will take over 1st and 10 with Derek Frederick at quarterback. There's got to be some frustration as neither team really able to advance once they get deep into the other team's territory. Let's go down for a quick Go Green Field report with Todd. Todd, it's got to be frustrating for Coach Barnes.
Oh, yeah, we'll talk to Will at halftime, but if the Tiger defense, needs to make another stand here, because you don't want to give up a cheap one right before halftime, and more whistles and delay of game on Fort Campbell. Wow, you don't usually see that coming out of a change of possession.
Absolutely not, but we will take it. 1st down and 15 coming up for the Falcons, as the ball will move back to the 15-yard line. They usually get the play in pretty quick there. A trip set to the right for Frederick. Frederick is going to hand it off to Dixon. Dixon spins and maybe gets back to the 15, but not much more. Caldwell County has really done a fabulous job tonight of corralling Keyshawn Dixon, averaging about 44 yards per game, and I don't think he's even halfway close to that tonight. Caldwell County has really limited his productivity. 1.5 minutes left to play in the first half. Little Caesars halftime report coming up in just a few minutes. Frederick puts Dixon to his right shoulder. Frederick rolls right, complete at the 15, up across the 20 and out of bounds at the 23-yard line. That player is the number 9, the sophomore that we had talked about earlier, DeCavius Lewis, on the catch. 3rd down and long still coming up for Fort Campbell.
3rd and 7 facing the Falcons right now.
Ball is going to be spotted at the 24-yard line. Under a minute to play in the first half. Hand off to Dixon. Dixon wants to bounce to the outside, cuts it back up. Good job by Caldwell County. Is going to stop him shy of the 30. Wofford in on the tackle, along with number 64 for Caldwell County, Maurice Seals. And it looks like the Tigers may take the timeout. And it is timeout Caldwell County. We'll keep it right here and tell you about our friends on the timeout. Travis Construction and Concrete are your sponsors for timeouts all season. For all of your construction and concrete needs, as well as driveways, porches, foundations, basement walls, decorative concrete, remodels, and more, it's Travis Construction and Concrete. Here's to building a successful year from Travis Construction and Concrete.
4th and 1 looming for the Falcons, and deep in their territory, it's the riverboat gambler. You don't know whether they're going to go for it or punt the ball, Dennis.
Well, Bob, no farther than they put the punter back from the line. You've always got to watch out for the fake punt and that kid taking off. No. But that's a huge chance, don't you think, with 34 seconds left. And Caldwell County hasn't shown a lot of ability to move the football on big plays. Do you play it safe and kick it down the field, or?
I think if I'm Fort Campbell, I have to punt the ball.
Caldwell County brings the defense out as Fort Campbell as they expect Fort Campbell to try to run this one. We'll see what they do. 4th down and a yard. Falcons bring the offense out. It is Frederick at quarterback. Caldwell County's got to keep that line on side. Do not jump. And Caldwell County looking to the side. Whistle blows this one. And an official timeout on the field. And it's going to be a Fort Campbell timeout. We'll take a quick break and be right back. No score with 34 seconds left in the half from Fort Campbell.
KFC Princeton, offering their amazing fried chicken and all the fix-its. You can dine in or call your order for pickup inside or use their convenient drive-thru. Your local KFC is located on the Marion Road in Princeton. Whether you enjoy a quick lunch or take dinner home or maybe take something to a friend in need, they're always ready to help. They're also looking for team members at KFC. Ask about becoming a member of their team. KFC on the Marion Road, where they appreciate your support and they are Princeton strong.
And back here at Friar Stadium, 4th and 1 facing the Fort Campbell Falcons. Not sure whether they were trying to draw Caldwell County offside on that play or not, or just didn't really have a play set up to be run at that particular time. But they're back out in position to go for it, and for the call, Dennis Stevens.
Thank you, Bob. It's going to be Frederick out of the shotgun. 2 receivers to the far side. Caldwell County showing pressure up the middle. And whistle blows. We'll see who is off, and it's going to be Fort Campbell with the procedure. Fort Campbell pleading their case that Caldwell moved on the play. But that should change their mind, Bob, especially this deep in their own territory. We will see if Caldwell County will drop anybody back. Fort Campbell's going to keep it now, 4th and 6. And a quick pooch kick. Bounces, takes a Caldwell bounce, and it's going to be downed at the Fort Campbell 41-yard line, 42-yard line. You didn't really think Fort Campbell was going to run the play there, but you almost think they could have got a much better kick away had they lined up in that formation. The kick checked up and bounced back, fortunately for the Tigers, and we'll have great field position. 42-yard line with 27 seconds left in the first half. See if the Tigers can put something together, at least get down for maybe a Nichols field goal attempt. Parker's going to send 2 players to his left, 1 to the right. Carnahan to the left shoulder. Parker looks down the field, gets good protection, goes long, and incomplete. No flag on the play. Looking for Chambliss. Looked like a little contact, but nothing called. Incompletion stops the clock with 21 seconds left in the half. Little Caesars halftime report coming your way. Area scoreboard included in that.
When's the last time we had a scoreless halftime?
It's going to go back to second down now. Parker in the backfield. Low snap. Is able to pick it up. Fort Campbell brings the pressure. Parker gets hit at the 50. Shakes it and throws it out of bounds. How did Parker not go down at the 50, Bob?
An uncanny ability by Luke to stay on his feet then.
Great job by Parker to save at least the yardage on that one. 3rd and 10 coming up with 14 seconds. One thing you don't want to do is make a silly throw in a situation like that and get an interception returned at the end of the half. You don't want to get careless with the football. Parker did a great job of that, getting it out of bounds. Now Luke with Carnahan over to his left. Parker, low snap, picks it up, throws. We'll see if they call it a catch at the 35-yard line. Clock running with 5 seconds. And it is a catch down to the 36-yard line. And zeros on the clock before they can get the snap away. We'll go to the half with the score at 0. Todd will have a quick interview with Coach Barnes, but Caldwell County tried to hustle up to the line to get that one away. Instead, Tight battle, no score here from Fort Campbell. Todd, I'm not sure where you're at on the sideline over there, but when you get Coach Barnes, just jump on in.
All right, I got him, Dennis.
All right, take it away,
Coach Will
buddy.
Barnes here with us at halftime. And, Coach, first of all, defense playing pretty great there in the first half, but making some stops and getting the ball back and getting the offense some field position.
Yeah, really still think we probably hadn't played great defensively, but we have, done a good enough job not to let them score. Just not playing very good right now, and that's a little disappointing. We're getting some favorable run boxes and not able to run it makes it hard offensively when you can't do that consistently. So, we got to stay after it and have a better second half.
What do you talk to the guys about at halftime? Because the last couple of weeks it seems like more and more of the offense had been working, and then tonight it just seems like we're a little out of sync again.
Yeah, I didn't do a great job. Really, I feel like every year we come here, we just don't do a good job getting ready, and that's my fault. We were flat in warm-ups. I felt like we've been flat in the first half, and when we're not ready to play, that's I got to do a better job there, and we got to get a lot better in the second half. It's things we are doing are there. We're just not executing very well right now.
You guys get the ball to start the second half. What's kind of the game plan coming out of halftime?
Yeah, this first drive is really important because they've shown that they can take some time off the clock and move the chains. We got to get in the end zone, and we got to be able to run the ball consistently. We've done decent at times, but when we've gotten down in there into the field, just haven't been able to consistently move the ball, and that's why we've had a couple of okay drives, but we haven't been able to continue that once we've got around the 20 or 25-yard line.
All right, good luck in the second half.
Thanks, Todd.
That's Tiger head coach Will Barnes. Nothing here at halftime at Friars Stadium, and the guys, Caldwell County, with a bit of a string going in the series. I think the Tigers have taken 8 straight, trying to extend that tonight and trying to stay on the hunt for a home playoff game, and make that game next week against Murray really, really meaningful.
All right, thank you, Todd, for that interview with Coach Barnes. We're going to take a break, and when we come back, we'll kick off the Little Caesars halftime report next on 1580, 103.3 WPKY.
Life is filled with moments we share with those we love, worry about, and strive to protect the most. At Woodman Life, we provide life insurance and retirement products to help protect you and your family so that you can enjoy all the moments to come.
This is Josh Ray, your local Woodman Life agent. Come see us at 1009 West Main Street or give us a call at 365-6111.
Certain eligibility and age restrictions apply. Woodman of the World Life Insurance Society, Omaha, Nebraska.
Pennyroyal Hospice Executive Director, Kelly Martin.
Living to the fullest with Pennyroyal Hospice means relief. R is for when that time comes that you face a restriction in the health of your life. E is for the ease of access to get that help that you so desperately need. L is for the life boost that hospice provides both for the patient and for the family. I stands for the individualized plan of care for your loved one. E is for the emergency plan that is developed specifically for you as a hospice patient. The letter F, we fill in the gaps after someone passes with an amazing and extended bereavement program.
Living to the fullest means relief with Pennyroyal Hospice, celebrating 40 years of care for our loved ones.
Want faster, more reliable internet? Hey, this is Brent Gilkey with Pennyroyal Electric, and we're proud to help power EnergyNet Fiber internet service. Work from home, stream your favorite shows, and game with unlimited data, all with a reliable, high-speed EnergyNet connection. EnergyNet offers internet packages starting at $59.95 a month and local tech support. Check goenergynet.com to see if EnergyNet Fiber Internet is available for your home.
The roof isn't just part of the house, it completes it. It makes you feel safe and secure, so it needs to be properly installed. The importance of having a high quality and well-maintained roof is what motivates Bluegrass Roofing to serve this area, using quality materials without excess cost. Bluegrass Roofing is a Master Elite GAF certified installer, fully licensed and insured. They thank you for voting them the best roofing company in Western Kentucky. For roofing and claim info, find them at bluegrassroofpros.com.
If you're involved in an auto accident, it's your choice where your vehicle is repaired. Some insurance companies refer you to pro shops because they give the insurance company discounts. But with those discounts, the insurance company has input on the parts used and might not always use what is best. At Trice Hughes Body Shop, they're not partnered with an insurance company, but they give the same lifetime limited warranty to the person who owns the vehicle at the time of repairs. Visit Trice Hughes in Princeton for your vehicle repairs.
For 25 years, La Potosina Mexican Restaurant has been your choice for authentic Mexican food. They appreciate your business through the years. Open 7 days a week for lunch and dinner. Pair your favorite meals with your favorite margarita. Enjoy dining in or call in for carryouts. Call 270-365-3848 to place your order. La Potosina Mexican Restaurant with locations in Princeton and Marion. Be sure to follow them on Facebook. And thanks again for 25 great years.
Hey, it's Jess. Join me weekday mornings from 6 to 9. We'll get you ready to start your day with sticky notes and local, regional, and national news updates at 6:30 and 7:30, complete Weather Edge forecast, jump in a Wayback Machine, birthdays and anniversaries at 7:30, catch up with Community Calendar, and cover local issues, events, and even share the love with Coffee Talk at 8 a.m. Everything you need to know and a whole lot of fun. Start your day with us at 1580 103.3 WPKY.
It's halftime here at Fryer Stadium at Fort Campbell. The Caldwell County Tigers and the Fort Campbell Falcons scoreless here at halftime. Caldwell County will get the football as we go to the second half tonight. It's senior night here at Fort Campbell. Fort Campbell honored its football seniors before the game, and here at halftime they're honoring the remaining fall sports seniors, so we could have an extended halftime tonight. This is the Little Caesars halftime report here on WPKY. Little Caesars, home of the $5.99 hot and ready pizza. Get game day ready this season with the $5 Fanceroni Pepperoni Old World Style Pizza. Little Caesars Princeton, which is best of luck this year, Tigers. Go get them. The halftime report brought to you by Little Caesars. We'll start things off with the Madisonville Community College scoreboard. Ballard Memorial and Murray hooked up in a district contest tonight in Murray. And at halftime, the Murray Tigers looking good in that one. They're up 42-0. Several teams going out of state tonight, including technically Caldwell County. We're actually in Tennessee, even though it's Fort Campbell, Kentucky. I was told the post office was in Kentucky, so that's why it's Fort Campbell, Kentucky, but Fryer Stadium actually located across the line in Tennessee. Crittenden County went to Gallatin, Tennessee tonight to play Liberty Creek, and at halftime, Liberty Creek has a 14-0 lead over the Rockets. Paducah Tillman went to Paris, Tennessee to play Henry County tonight, and at halftime, Henry County leads that one 10-6. Logan County up on Madisonville North Hopkins in the second quarter, 28-6. Hopkins County Central has a 35-14 lead on Callaway County in the second quarter. Henderson County leads at Owensboro Apollo tonight, 34-6. That game is in the second quarter. A couple of Thursday scores, as we told you about during the pregame. Owensboro Catholic beat Butler County 35-12 over in the second district of Class 2A. And also another game in that district, McLean County beat Hancock County 21-14. So looking a whole lot like three teams might be tied for second place over in that district. So we'll have to watch the scores closely and take a look at the RPI to see how things shake out in that district and start taking a look at what might be some potential playoff pairings. That's the Madisonville Community College scoreboard. Madisonville Community College is much more than buildings and programs. It's a community where students find confidence, collaboration, compassion, and success. Let them help you build a better life. Madisonville Community College. Again, we're at halftime here at Fryer Stadium. Caldwell County and Fort Campbell 0-0 in an important Class 2A First District matchup tonight. It's time now for the halftime moment in history, brought to you by West Kentucky Memorials. West Kentucky Memorials, with locations in Princeton, Cadiz, and Hopkinsville. Proud supporter of Caldwell County football. Their son is a Caldwell County Tiger, senior Jameis Carnahan. West Kentucky Memorials offers quality handcrafted granite memorials. The halftime moment in history, brought to you by West Kentucky Memorials. We're going back 20 years and 3 days ago, October 4th, 2002. Caldwell County pulled out a 22-21 overtime win here at Fort Campbell. The Tigers overcame a 14-0 halftime deficit to get that game to halftime at 14-14. Fort Campbell scored first in the extra period to go up 21-14, but Caldwell responded with a pair of key runs from Kent Wells. First, Wells scored on 4th and goal from the 2-yard line. He then carried it across the goal line on a close play on the 2-point conversion attempt to send Caldwell County on its way with a 1-point victory that night. Carl Copeland had a touchdown run and 18 tackles that night for the Tigers. Donovan Dame returned a punt 77 yards for a score in the fourth quarter, again to help that game get to overtime. The second half and overtime was played on a muddy field after an unexpected downpour in the first half. Of course, we've got the artificial turf now, so no chance of that happening, but it was a muddy turf that night. It was a little weird, though, because a later look at the radar showed that the rain shower just popped up right over Fort Campbell, sat there for about 30 minutes, and then dissipated on what was otherwise a clear evening throughout the area. So was that just a weather anomaly, or was it something else? We'll let you try to decide on that one. Again, though, the Tigers winning 22-21 in overtime here on the Fort Campbell Army Base. 2002 was the season, and that's your halftime moment in history tonight, brought to you by West Kentucky Memorials. Caldwell County and Fort Campbell 0-0 at halftime. We've got stats coming up next from the first half, so stay with us as we roll on at halftime. The Little Caesars halftime report here on 1580 103.3 WPKY.
Hey, sports fans, you wouldn't want your favorite sports team to play only offense or defense. When it comes to insurance, why settle for someone that can handle only your auto policy? At Goodwin Insurance, they take care of all your insurance needs. You deserve someone that provides comprehensive coverage and is working alongside you in your community. Contact them today for a quote.
Goodwin Insurance of Princeton, Cadiz, or Marion, or online at insurewithgoodwin.com.
This is Alan Watts with Your Ag Edge, inviting you to join me Monday through Friday at 5:30 a.m. for the WPKY Morning Ag Report. We check in daily with Caldwell County Agriculture Extension Agent Shane Bogle. Get the latest from fellow farm broadcaster Max Armstrong. Take a look at the latest livestock market reports. Hear the latest edition of Traveling to Bluegrass, and check the opening grain market with Hopkins Elevators' Ben Westerfield. That's the Morning Ag Report from Your Ag Edge Network on 103.3 FM and 1580 AM WPKY.
Halftime at Fryer Stadium at Fort Campbell. Caldwell County and Fort Campbell 0-0 here at the break. Caldwell County will get the opening kickoff to start the second half as the Tigers look to keep their hopes alive for a number 2 seed in the district standings and a home playoff game in the first round of the playoffs. Regional soccer is coming up next week. Meant to tell you about that a little bit earlier as we did the Madisonville Community College scoreboard, but overlooked that. But Caldwell County's girls will be playing Monday at 5:30 over at the Stadium of Champions in Hopkinsville in a first-round match. Lady Tigers play University Heights Academy at 5:30. Caldwell's girls beat UHA twice during the regular season, 3-1 and then 1-0 in the All-A Classic, as Caldwell County won that this year. Again, Region Soccer is next week. The girls will play all 4 first-round matches on the 2 fields at the Stadium of Champions in Hopkinsville starting Monday. Boys Soccer Regional will be played at Henderson County next week. Volleyball Senior Night is coming up Tuesday at the Cab Gym. Lady Tigers will play Callaway County on Senior Night. And also don't forget about Saturday morning quarterback live from the Biscuit Barn and Ice Cream Eatery at 9 o'clock in the morning. And one other thing, good luck to all the girls playing up at the state golf tournament in Bowling Green. They'll finish that up tomorrow. And, of course, the boys played earlier this week, so the golf season winding down. One more round tomorrow at the state golf tournament in Bowling Green. Time now for halftime stats, brought to you by West Kentucky Memorials with locations in Princeton, Cadiz, and Hopkinsville. And here's Gary tallying up the numbers for us.
Good evening, everybody. We've got the statistics from the first half of Caldwell at Fort Campbell. For the Caldwell County Tigers, there have been 18 rushing attempts for 74 yards, 64 of them for senior number 20, Jameis Carnahan. Luke Parker has 4 rushes for -3 yards. However, that's attributable to a sack of 11. His other 3 rushes were for positive yards. Luke Maddox had 1 rush. It was an end around. He gained 13 yards for one of our 6 total first downs. And as for the passing, Luke Parker has attempted 14 passes and completed 4 of them. 3 of them are to number 88, Xavier Bumpus. That accounts for 28 yards of receiving. The other was a 6-yard completion to senior Logan Chambliss, which accounts for 34 yards of passing. So the Tigers have 108 total yards of offense in the first half. As for the Fort Campbell Falcons, the Tiger defense has been stout and held them to 52 yards of total offense, 29 rushing yards. The quarterback has 37, number 5, Darren Frederick. The reason he has more rushing yards than the team is because of a -18 team fumble. So that sets them back quite a bit. Also 11 yards for Keyshawn Dixon and 2 yards for Jonte Almoud. So 29 net rushing yards on 19 attempts for the Falcons. The Falcons through the air are 4 of 8, 50%, and accounting for 23 yards. The quarterback is Darren Frederick, and he has completed those 4 passes for 23 yards. The receivers are number 9. The wind's blowing here. DeKivius Lewis, he has 2 catches for 12 yards. Number 2, Jonte Almoud, a catch for 2 yards. And number 23, Keyshawn Dixon, a catch for 7 yards. 3 first downs only for the Fort Campbell Falcons, which accounts for the 52 yards of offense. And that would be the stats for the offenses of both teams. I'll have the defense in just a second.
All right, thanks, Gary. 0-0 here at halftime. Again, we expect Caldwell County to start the second half by receiving, so Caldwell County will have a chance to put the offense on the field and maybe break this 0-0 deadlock as they play here at Fort Campbell. Now here's Gary with the defensive stats.
We've had plenty of tackles because the Fort Campbell Falcons have run the ball quite a bit. We have Jameis Carnahan with 6 tackles. Also, Camden Wooford has 6 tackles. Gus Fox has 5. Maurice Seals has 4. So when we look at the defense, it's been pretty much the linebackers as you'd expect because they're the ones who are mostly having to tackle the quarterback, number 5, who has pretty much been their offense, both rushing and passing. So the Tigers will get the ball, correct? Yes. All right. Tigers get first opportunity offensively at this deadlocked 0-0 tie, second half, heading in about what? About a minute or so. All right, Todd, here you go.
All right, thank you, Gary, with the stats brought to you by West Kentucky Memorials. That's going to wrap us up on the Little Caesars halftime report. We'll send you back up top after this here on 1580, 103.3 WPKY.
You'll find over 30 years experience to work for you at U-Ride in Princeton. They are hometown proud and ready to serve your vehicle needs from start to finish, and they do it all safely. You'll find variety and quality vehicles along with on-the-lot financing. And of course, you can always apply online at uridesales.com. Stop by or call for an appointment today with one of their friendly sales staff at U-Ride on the Marion Road in Princeton, 270-365-3018. Hometown proud. Go Tigers!
And we're back here at Friar Stadium, third quarter counting down, 25 seconds to go before we start the third quarter. And that third quarter will be brought to you by Cozy Living, Interiors and Boutique. Stop in and see Pam and Hab Haberlock. Hab is your local U-Haul dealer. Pam has lots of bargains in that store out there, a lot of merchandise, beautiful furniture, bedding, accessories, and gifts. Cozy Living, Interiors and Boutique, next to the bowling alley in Princeton. Everything a home should be. Teams are on the field in position, and for the call here in the third quarter, my friend Dennis Stevens.
Thank you, Bob. 0-0 at half. It's been a long time since we've saw that score. Fort Campbell set to kick it away for the Falcons. Deep for Caldwell County. Looks like Carnahan and Bumpus.
I'd be a little in tune to try to watch for the onside kick, Dennis. Fort Campbell has nothing to lose here.
And their defense has played well up to this point, so you're right, Bob. That is a distinct possibility. Maddox and Davis, a couple of the up receivers for Caldwell County. Kick is going to be short. It's going to take a bounce at the 24-yard line, and be picked up by Carnahan across the 25, around the corner, across the 30, and tackled out of bounds at the 34-yard line. They're going to give him the 35 on the carry, so a good return off the pickup by Jameis Carnahan, and we are underway here in the second half. As Bob said, no score in the first half. Tigers with just over 100 yards of offense in that first half. Majority of that from Jameis Carnahan. It's going to be Carnahan at the right shoulder of Parker. Tight trip set with the ball on the near side hash mark for Caldwell County as they go left to right. Parker takes a snap. Quick hit to Chambliss at the 35, and Chambliss hit after a gain of about 1. So a pickup of 1 on the play. Caldwell County tried to set up that little receiver screen on that side, Bob, but Fort Campbell broke that, and Carnahan just dead as soon as he caught that ball. Pickup of 1, 2nd down and 9 coming up for the Tigers. It's going to be Carnahan this time lining up behind Parker. Wofford in the slot to block. Handoff, Carnahan hits the line. He's going to be thrown for a loss.
And that's one thing we've noticed all night long, Dennis. Fort Campbell, when you try to break it outside on them, really tackle well.
Yeah, they keep that containment. Linebackers don't get taken out. And Carnahan's going to be spotted at the 34-yard line. So it's going to be 3rd down and 10 coming up for the Tigers.
Probably, 3rd and 11. He lost 2 yards on that play.
3rd and 11. Trip set out to the left for Parker. Parker, low snap, picks it up, drops back, got some pressure, hits Carnahan, and incomplete. Carnahan felt a little bit of pressure coming up. That was number 9 that did not make the roster that the team sent out. But that's DeCavius Lewis, and Bob, that kid has played really well for just being a sophomore.
Fort Campbell has played well tonight. I don't know how you can say otherwise. They've played well.
First punt of the night, sorry, Bob. First punt of the night coming up for Caldwell County as Nichols will drop back. Fort Campbell sends a player back to their own 35-yard line. Nichols, low snap, picks it up, almost blocked, gets away a nice punt. Drives Fort Campbell all the way back to the 25, backpedals inside his 20, and now he's going to be stuffed. I think that's Canyon Richardson gets back on coverage.
Going to mark him at the 16-yard line.
16-yard line on a good punt by Timothy Nichols under a lot of pressure, Bob.
A lot of pressure.
He gets it away, and it's going to pin Fort Campbell back to their own 16-yard line.
It's a 50-yard punt, Dennis.
Just over a minute and a half gone here in the third quarter. No score. Both teams looking to get in a fight for that number 2 seed in the district. A seed that is still up for grabs and carries the home playoff game, but right now Caldwell County in a fight.
The defense may just have to take matters into its own hand here, guys, and come up with a touchdown. Get that ball out and scoop it and go.
Well, it'd be nice to have another night like Ballard Memorial. We had 3 of those things returned. It's going to be Dixon. Gain on first down of a couple out to the 18-yard line.
When Caldwell has the football, Fort Campbell is just quick enough to keep the Tigers from getting much outside, and it seems like we've just missed a couple of opportunities with holes up front that might have popped for big gains.
Luke Parker back in at safety for Caldwell County. Dixon to the left shoulder of Frederick. Frederick, quick hit outside to Lewis. Lewis dodges one tackle, but gets brought down shy of the 20-yard line. Maybe a yard on the play for Lewis. Both defenses coming out, hitting and tackling here in the second half. It's going to be 3rd down and 7 coming up for Fort Campbell. Darren Frederick was it 50% in the first half, Bob? I think 4 out of 8.
Mm-hmm.
I thought Fort Campbell would really try to throw more. It seemed like they started out the game through the air quite a bit, but then took to the run with Keyshawn Dixon or Frederick himself. Frederick drops back, good protection, goes over the middle, hit his receiver but I don't think he could see it for the official, as it hits him pretty much in the the thigh pad on his left leg and goes incomplete. Stops the clock with 9:09 left to go in the third quarter, and Fort Campbell facing 4th down and 8 inside their own 20. I think Fort Campbell's going to line up. It's going to be one of those quick kicks, gets it away, and it's going to bounce at the 45 and come back and be fielded at the 44-yard line, where Caldwell County will once again, Bob, and I don't know how many possessions we've had, but it seems like every time we've had a possession, we've included the words good field position.
That's been for sure. Every Tigers have had the ball tonight on the Fort Campbell 19, the 35, the 27, the 47, the 42, the 35 of our yard line that starts the second half. Now we're in their territory at the 44.
Tight set for Caldwell County. Hand off to Carnahan. Hits a hole on the right side inside the 40 down to the 38-yard line. Couple of Falcons in on a hard tackle on Carnahan. Carnahan hops right back up.
Another 6 yards for Jameis, and it's good to have second and short.
Under 9 minutes to play in the third quarter. 2nd and 4 coming up for Caldwell County from the Falcon 38-yard line. One receiver each way with extra tight end for Caldwell County. Carnahan takes it across the 35, still on his feet at the 30, pushed out of bounds. They'll spot it at the 31, but enough for a Lake Barkley CrossFit first down. Lake Barkley CrossFit, where you're never too healthy, too strong, or in too good of health. Lake Barkley CrossFit has classes designed for anyone at any fitness level and always free to come and try Lake Barkley CrossFit, where the athletes train. First down Tigers at the Falcon 31-yard line. Bob, if you can just break that seal and get something in that end zone, I think they start coming a little bit more quickly then. It's going to be Carnahan down to the 25-yard line.
Great run that time by Jameis. He was going outside and searching, found a little crease inside the middle and cut it back. Put that down for my quick cut.
2nd down and 5 coming up. Let's call it 2nd down and 4 coming up for Caldwell County. That's more of what we thought we would see against Fort Campbell tonight. 2nd and short or 3rd and short. Trip set to the right, empty backfield, 2 receivers to the left. Parker all alone. Luke takes a low snap, picks it up, sees an opening, takes off down the field, hit at the 20-yard line, but it will be another Lake Barkley CrossFit first down. Parker's going to be spotted at the 19-yard line.
Gain of 6 yards on that run by Luke. Took a pretty good lick at the end of that run.
Caldwell County put 5 receivers out, spread their defense out. Parker found the hole and picked up the first down with 7.5 to play in the third quarter. Caldwell County on the march here, 1st and 10 from the 19-yard line. Parker, quick flare out. Looks like Bumpus complete, and Bumpus in for the score. Touchdown, Tigers. That little curl route that's worked 3 or 4 times already tonight. Xavier Bumpus on a nice pass from Parker. Parker had plenty of protection, nobody in the backfield, and Caldwell County finally breaks the goose egg off the scoreboard, 6-0 Tigers, as Nichols will come out, try to add on the extra point. Extra point brought to you by Goodwin Insurance, your locally owned independent insurance agency capable of handling all of your insurance needs. Goodwin Insurance is a proud sponsor of Caldwell County Athletics, and they wish the Tigers the best of luck all season. Nichols, left-footed kicker, gets it up in the air, and good. So with 7:11 left in the third quarter, Caldwell County the first to score. It's the Tigers 7, Falcons nothing. Back after this.
The Planters Bank season of giving is underway. You can drop off requested donations at any Planters branch. 12 organizations have requested specific items. The best part? Planters Bank will match the dollar value of every single item donated. Visit Planters Bank's Facebook page or website for more details. You can help local and area charities by making a donation at any branch through Planters Bank's Season of Giving.
Chick-fil-A of Hopkinsville wants to salute the outstanding achievements of our area student-athletes. Each week, a student-athlete will be chosen based on academics, athletics, and achievements. Watch for the Chick-fil-A AAA Young Person of the Week at yoursportsedge.com. Academics, athletics, and achievements. The Chick-fil-A AAA Young Person of the Week at yoursportsedge.com.
And welcome back to Fryer Stadium. Caldwell County, the first to dent the scoreboard tonight, just capitalizing on a 19-yard pass from Luke Parker to Xavier Bumpus. Tigers now lined up for the kickoff and for the call, Dennis Stevens.
Thank you, Bob Nichols, to put it in play for Caldwell County. Now it's up to that Tiger defense that's played reasonably well up to this point. Nichols approaches the football teed at the 40, puts it in play. Good kick for Campbell Fields and bobbles at the 10. They're able to pick it up, trying to turn it back up the field, and they get it back out to the 20-yard line. So it's going to be the Falcons now trailing this one 7-0. Just over 7 minutes to play in the third quarter. Let's go down for a Go Green Field report with Todd Griffin.
Well, guys, it's going to be more of a weather report, and I can tell you that it's gotten a lot cooler down here in the second half. It wasn't too bad in the first half. Chris George says it's cold. The last time I looked, it said 56 degrees, so it is a little cool for this time of year. But, Dennis, come March, we'll all think 56 degrees is nice and warm.
Oh, absolutely. Windows down and golf carts out without any covers. You're exactly right. Frederick takes a snap. Quick hit at the 27-yard line, complete across the 30 and out near the 35. That is number 10, Maurice Moore, with the reception and the first down. We talked about it in the pregame, Bob. Temperature at kickoff was about 60, but we were expecting around 52 degrees by the time this one ends tonight. Spot that ball at the 34-yard line.
We have to tell the people that we are in an enclosed press box, so we don't feel a thing.
Incomplete on first down. Frederick was looking for number 3, Amari Waddy. That one underthrown. Second down and 10 coming up for the Falcons. Caldwell County's had good coverage on the receivers tonight. When they have caught something, there's not been much after the catch. Caldwell missing linebacker Cooper Mobley tonight. Out on injury probably the rest of the season. We'll see how his recovery goes. Frederick drops back, going to go down the sideline, and there's going to be a flag on that one. The play is intercepted by Parker, but the flag is going to bring that one all the way back, as the foul is going to be on Chambliss for defensive pass interference. So for the time being, until they get the flag straightened out, Caldwell County's Parker did have the interception on the pass, but Bob, that was an easy call to make right here in front of us at the 50-yard line. Chambliss was not letting that receiver through, had hold of his jersey, and we like to take up for the hometown guys when we can, but that one was a easy call for the official on the sideline, pass interference. Is going to give Fort Campbell the first down
at the
49-yard line of Fort Campbell.
Well, you hate that took away an interception, but, guys, I'd always, for a defensive back to reach out and grab somebody, then let them run by. We'll take the 15 yards and play defense again, then give up a big play.
Yeah, he had him the whole way. You're right, Todd, but at least it wasn't 6. Frederick out of the shotgun. Goes, and this one's intercepted Davis. This one's clean. Davis across the 40, the 30. Davis down the sideline. He could go all the way and does. Landon Davis, pick 6, right at midfield.
No flags, Dennis.
No flags on the play. Touchdown Tigers. that score with 6:25 left to go in the third quarter. Makes it 13-0. Caldwell County with the lead. And the Goodwin Insurance extra point attempt coming up. Goodwin Insurance, your locally owned independent insurance agency, capable of handling all of your insurance needs. Nichols set to kick. Parker with the hold for Caldwell County. Snap is a good one. Kick is up. And it is good. 6:25 left to go in the third. Caldwell County, 2 third-quarter touchdowns, leads this one 14-0. Back after this.
As a community-owned enterprise, the Princeton Electric Plant Board provides services to the people in the Princeton area. One of the services they provide is to make sure the lights are on over our fields and courts for our Caldwell County Tigers. From everyone at the Princeton Electric Plant Board, good luck to all the Caldwell County Tigers and hopes for a safe season. And a big electric roar to their Tigers, Preston Burrell and Lily Hoare.
Hey, it's Tess. Join me weekday mornings from 6 to 9. We'll get you ready to start your day with sticky notes and local, regional, and national news updates at 6:30 and 7:30. Complete weatherage forecast, jump in a Wayback Machine, birthdays and anniversaries at 7:30. Catch up with community calendar and cover local issues, events, and even share the love with Coffee Talk at 8 a.m. Everything you need to know and a whole lot of fun. Start your day with us at 1580 103.3 WPKY.
And back here at Friar Field, Caldwell County striking quickly through on the defensive side of the ball. An interception returned by Landon Davis, and now Caldwell kicking off, and for the call, Dennis Stevens.
Thank you, Bob. Nichols kicks it away, fielded at the 15-yard line, back up across the 30, 35, and Powell moving at the 40 before he's brought down at the 42-yard line. Good return by Fort Campbell, but Bob, here's where we have Fort Campbell now 14-0, and we'll see if we can make the Falcons have to go to the air. That we talked about it in the pregame. We like it if that turned out to be the fact that Fort Campbell had to throw the ball a lot because our defensive backs had 8 interceptions on the season, make it 9 now with Landon Davis. And I think that's the 4th or 5th return for a touchdown off those interceptions.
I know it's Landon's second return for a touchdown. Did you get the yardage on that return, Dennis?
Well,
right at 51, 52 yards.
We'll toss that down to the stat crew. And Todd, if you guys have the return yardage on that pick, you can let us know.
Gary says 52 yards. He was right on the line when it was picked off.
So Fort Campbell puts it in play. Frederick with some pressure, and he's going to go down all the way back near the 30. Hosted Tigers back there on that.
I think
including number 73, number 66, and number 56. So we'll count those down. 73 is Cole Sherrill. 56 is Brady Holman, and 66 is Connor King. And the sack moves Fort Campbell all the way back to their own 31-yard line.
Caldwell defense really asserting itself here in the second half and trying to take over this game.
Frederick throws. This one's deflected and out of bounds, almost picked off there by Wofford. Somebody gave a really good halftime speech tonight, Bob, to the Tigers because they have come out with some intensity about like they had during the Ballard game back at Princeton a few weeks ago.
Definitely, what a touchdown can do for you, Dennis, is what we're seeing here unfold.
And it'll let the defense play a little bit more aggressive, I think, as well, Bob, a little bit looser. Frederick fakes the handoff, keeps it himself. He's going to slide, and not much on that one.
Maybe 32-yard line or –
yeah, it's where he started the slide at. We'll see where they'll end up marking it, but they're going to give him the 33-yard line on the carry.
And going to bring up a 4th and 20.
5 minutes and just a little change left to go in the third quarter. Caldwell County is going to drop Bumpus back. Tigers lead this one 14-0. Falcons punt it away. Bumpus receives at the 33-yard line, tries to come to the right side, gets around the 40. Up the sideline, and they say he stayed in bounds. No, they're going to say he stepped out at the Tiger 46-yard line. Caldwell County again with good field position to start this possession, but this time leading this one now 14-0. Just under 5 minutes to go in the third quarter.
I'm glad I'm not the guy that Cole Sherrill got on their sideline, guys, because on a nice cool night, that one had to hurt. But he got somebody on that kick or punt return right there.
Caldwell County really hitting much better here in the second half. It's going to be Parker at quarterback with the back on each shoulder. 2 receivers left, 1 to the right. Fort Campbell showed blitz. Now they're going to back out of it. Handoff goes to Davis. Davis pops it to the left side, turns up the field across the 50 into Falcon territory, and the big guy carries the pile all the way down to the Fort Campbell 45-yard line.
Gain of 9 yards that time by Landon, running hard and running well.
Not sure what the beeping is, Bob, but I thought it was a whistle the first couple of times. Okay, scoreboard, okay. Ball at the 45-yard line for Caldwell County.
It's not my hearing aid then.
It was throwing me a little bit because a couple of times I thought it was a whistle early during the play. Parker still got the 2 backs in the backfield. Dual receivers to the right. Hand off to Carnahan up the middle. Carnahan takes a lick at the line of scrimmage.
May have enough for the first down. We'll see.
And it is signaled first down, Caldwell County.
And we have a penalty after the play, guys, so maybe a free 15 for Caldwell on this one. We'll see which way it goes.
Check out the call from the Whitecap, but maybe a little frustration after Fort Campbell had battled in that first half, find themselves down now late in the third quarter, 14-0. Lead official coming over, and he'll tell us about it. Personal foul against the Falcons after the play. So it was a first down, and now a first down plus 15 more for the Tigers. Lake Barkley CrossFit first down.
At the 28.
Tigers threatening to blow this one open here in the third quarter. 28-yard line is the spot. 2 receivers right, 1 to the left. Wolford in the slot. Handoff to Davis. Davis, again, big guy pushing the pile across the 25 and down to the 23-yard line.
Would be a very stout 5-yard run that time.
Davis is a load to bring down, and he is literally pushing 3 or 4 blue shirts with the pile down the field a couple of times.
He may have given the halftime speech, Dennis.
May have. Ball at the 24-yard line. Tigers with second down and content to let that clock run down all they can in between plays, even this early in the game.
Well, one thing I've noticed tonight, our snaps have not been crisp back to Luke. He's had to pick them up off the ground, jump for them.
Parker calls for it. Hands off to Carnahan, straight up the middle. Another good gain and a flag after the play on that one. Looks like it's enough for a first if it stands. Let's go down for a Go Green report with Todd on the sideline. Pick that flag up for us.
Well, we thought that was going to be a face mask, but let's see which way the official turned one way, and I thought he was going to walk it off against Caldwell, but I think now it's going to go against Fort Campbell, and it's going to be
another face mask.
5-yarder this time. So the Tigers will take that, and Caldwell County really seizing control of the game here in the third quarter, guys. So you're right. Must have been a good halftime speech. I just always assume they went in and listened to the halftime show during the break.
Maybe that's what got them fired up.
Maybe it was Gary's stats that have put him over the top. But whatever it is, we'll take it at this point because we want these Tigers winning the next 2 games for sure, and we'll have that home playoff game in Princeton. 2:45 on the third quarter clock. Caldwell County 1st and 10 from the 11-yard line and threatening here again. Jameis Carnahan follows the blockers inside the 10 down close to the 7-yard line, it looks like.
Gain of 4 yards on the play.
Carnahan really looking at that blocking and trusting it, just going right up behind him, helping push the pile. He and Davis both.
2nd and 6 for the Tigers.
They can get a first down without getting a touchdown. Clock ticks down to 2 minutes left. This time, Parker's going to go under center. I formation out of Caldwell County. Davis, the up back with the block. Let's Carnahan on the handoff. Carnahan wanted to go to the corner, gets stopped shy of the first down.
Multiple fouls on that one, guys, as we saw a flag come out and then referee threw a hat. So this will be interesting to sort out.
As long as the shoes don't come off, I think we can sort it out. But a good carry by Carnahan on a good lead block by Landon Davis. 1:43 on the stop clock here in the third quarter. Caldwell County 14-0 over Fort Campbell.
I just wonder what he would have thrown next if there would have been one more foul on the play.
If you see belt or shoes coming off, you can give us the Go Green report on that one.
The only thing I could throw, Tom, would be my wallet.
I think I'd pass on that one, though.
I think I'm going to try to cover Bob's wallet.
You have to fight the malls. What are we doing down here? I don't know.
Looks like an illegal block.
Yeah, the flag and the hat are both at the 2-yard line.
One is
blocking the back is going to be one of them.
And the other, I think a hold, if I'm not mistaken, Todd. You're listening to Tiger Football on WPKY Princeton. 14-0 Tigers. Penalties will push the Tigers back to the 17-yard line, where they will face third down coming up. Twin sets to both sides. In motion, Caldwell County with the little pitch. And I'm trying to pick up. That's Maddox. Takes a big hit inside the 5-yard line. Another flag. Who would have thunk it?
I bet this one's a holding or a chop block.
I thought he initially signaled offside, but surely that's not, because that would have stopped the play. Clock stops with a 1:29 to play in the third quarter. We'll sort out another flag here on a nice run by number 81, Luke Maddox. And, Bob, that's a kid. You can talk about him a little bit. That's a kid that's really picked up the playing time the last 3 to 4 weeks.
Exactly. He runs well, runs hard.
That flag against Caldwell County, I never did see the signal. But it's back to the 23-yard line. Caldwell County will have second and about 21. Two receivers each way. Carnahan to the right shoulder of Parker. Parker's going to throw. Chambliss with the catch at the 23. Gets down the sideline. Chambliss in the end zone. We'll see if it's a signaled touchdown. Waiting on it. And it is a touchdown, but another flag back at the 25-yard line. Chambliss with a nice run, tiptoed down the sideline, got in the end zone on a hit right at the goal line, but this one may come back against Caldwell County.
I'm glad Gary's got to add all those penalties up.
That's why Gary makes the big bucks.
We're about to get taken out of field goal range. You know, I thought we had a pretty safe bet at least maybe getting 3 on the board here, but keep going the wrong way.
Flag against Caldwell County will move them back. We saw a lot of this in the first half. Caldwell County has put a couple of scores up here in the third quarter, but we saw a lot of these same penalties.
Where's the ball marked, Dennis? At the 31?
31-yard line, it will be the spot. Clock down to 1:13 in the third quarter.
3rd and 30, or 3rd and 29.
Two receivers in the backfield, or two backs in the backfield, excuse me. Carnahan, the left back, takes it across the 30. Hit, bounces off a couple of tacklers, gets across the 20. And down to the 19-yard line is Jameis Carnahan. Carnahan looking pretty fresh. A lot of carries tonight, but took the punishment and got it inside the 20. Third down. Caldwell County still can get a first down, but they've got to get down to around the 2-yard line.
3rd and 18.
Parker's going to the sideline to check out the call, and he'll bring that back in with a trip set to his left. Chambliss will be the lone receiver to the near side. And whistles blow. Play clock must have been running down on that one as Caldwell County will take the Travis Construction and Concrete timeout. 21 seconds left in the third quarter. 14-0 Tigers. Back in 30 seconds.
At Trice's.
Saturday mornings at 9, we're talking sports at the Biscuit Barn and Ice Cream Eatery. Join Todd Griffin along with your Caldwell County football coaches for the live Saturday morning quarterback. Be part of the conversation in person or on 1580 103.3 WPKY.
And back here at Friar Field, Caldwell County facing a 3rd and 18. 21 seconds to play in the third quarter. Both teams at their respective sidelines. And we're trying to figure out, Dennis, you think we'll go to the air? And I definitely think if we don't score this time, we will try the field goal.
Yeah, with the wind, and go ahead and put points on the board. Leave it to the defense. Third down from the 19-yard line. Third and 17 for the Tigers. They'll leave that trip set to the left. Chambliss, the receiver to the right side, near side here. It is Parker being chased, coming to the sideline, and he's going to be tackled out of bounds at the 17-yard line, it looks like. And Caldwell County will bring out the field goal unit. Timothy Nichols will come out and try to tack 3 on to a good third quarter for Caldwell County, 14-0. They'll spot this ball at the 25, so it'll be a 35-yard attempt for Timothy Nichols with 12 seconds to go. Parker will be the holder for Caldwell County. Nichols with plenty of leg. Snap is back. Kick is partially blocked, it looked like. Barely got over the line, so no good. Caldwell County unable to tack on. Fort Campbell will come out with 10 seconds left on the third quarter clock, trailing 14-0. So Caldwell County with a good drive, but just a lot of penalties on that last possession, especially in the red zone. Unable to capitalize, and so they'll still lead this one going into the third quarter. Right now, 14-0, your score here. Caldwell County in the lead. Fort Campbell still on the sideline. Time now to go down for a Go Green Field report with Todd.
Well, Dennis, we continue to talk on the sideline about how cold it is, and it feels like it's getting a little cooler down here still. The wind's a little chilly. There's not a lot of wind tonight. Fort Campbell will have the wind in the fourth quarter, if that means anything, but it is just a little bit chillier tonight than we're used to. A lot of people would say, though, this is just good old football weather.
And we'll take this over the 90 degrees in September any day, I think. Teams were set, but the officials taking officials time out, and I think it's the same pants situation on the receiver for Fort Campbell. Pants up above the knees. So they'll have to substitute that player once again. Second time tonight that's happened. Frederick drops back. Caldwell County with some pressure again. Frederick wants to keep it, gets to the sideline, turns it up the field, and maybe picks up 2 as the third quarter horn sounds. After 3 quarters of play, it's Caldwell County 14, Fort Campbell nothing. Back after this.
Do you want to get into the best shape of your life? Okay, let's be honest. You just want to get into some kind of shape. Then now's the time to get to Trilogy Performance Sports and take advantage of their $100 monthly family plan. This offer allows every member of the family living in the house to use the facilities at Trilogy as well as join the classes. What a deal! Don't wait. Get in shape. This offer is only for the month of September, so start exercising now and run to Trilogy Performance Sports to sign up. For more information, go to trilogyperformancesports.com.
Tomorrow night. Touchdown! Touchdown! Kentucky! Coach Stoops and the Cats return home for an SEC East battle under the lights. Let's go! South Carolina Gamecocks and your Kentucky Wildcats.
UK hits the gridiron to take on South Carolina tomorrow. All the coverage begins at 4:30 on WKDCRadio.com and
on 106.5 WKDC.
Welcome back to Friar Field here at Fort Campbell. The fourth quarter brought to us by Cozy Living Interiors and Boutique. Stop in and see Pam, see what she's got for sale out there. Hab is your local U-Haul dealer here in Princeton. Cozy Living Interiors and Boutique next to the bowling alley in Princeton. For the call here in the fourth quarter, my friend Dennis Stevens.
Dixon tries to hit the middle, bounces it outside, and picks up pretty good yardage out near the 30-yard line. It's going to be a little bit short. Just underway here in the fourth quarter. Caldwell County leads this one 14-0. We were at zeros at the half, but Caldwell County with an offensive touchdown and a defensive touchdown in that third quarter. It's going to be a hold against Fort Campbell. Flag on the play. That will push the Falcons back. So Caldwell County really came out with some intensity and some much improved effort, I think, Bob. I don't think Coach Barnes was really pleased with the effort of the squad in the first half. And they came out, looked like a different team in that third quarter, especially at the start. Second down and 18 now coming up for Fort Campbell. Trip set to the right for Frederick. Frederick out of the gun with Dixon in the backfield. He'll drop back. Pretty good coverage. Now he's going to get flushed. Throws it over the middle. This one tipped and almost picked off by Carnahan. Falls incomplete. Good coverage down the field, Bob, because Frederick had plenty of time to throw that football before he got flushed.
Well, and when he got flushed, he threw it up for grabs, Dennis.
Yeah, he pretty much threw a jump ball up with more white jerseys than blue. So Caldwell County's defense rising to the challenge here tonight. Tigers looking to win this one and then see what happens next week at home as they'll take on Murray for what will likely be, if they hold on here, the number 2 seed in the district. But a long way to go here at Fort Campbell. They're in Frederick. Wants to go deep down the far sideline. Throws it up, and this one is going to be incomplete. Almost picked off by Parker. Parker stays on the ground. Went up high for that football. Came down on his back, man, knocked the wind out of him a little bit. He'll go to the sideline for just a second, get checked out. Good coverage by Caldwell County. Still double coverage on that one, Bob.
And brings up a 4th and 18 for Fort Campbell. So
chop block being called on Fort Campbell is going to be declined by Caldwell County. 4th down and long. Dropping back is going to be Xavier Bumpus. Not back very far, though, because he will line up at the Fort Campbell 40. End-over-end kick will drive Bumpus back. It's going to take a big Fort Campbell bounce all the way back inside the 30, down inside the 25-yard line. Nose of it should be touching the 25. End-over-end punt. Turns out good for Fort Campbell as Caldwell County will take over at their own 25-yard line. Just over 30 seconds gone here in the fourth quarter. Tigers lead this one 14-0. Looking to hold on here and take on Murray next week in the final district game. We'll have the bye week following that and then wrap up the regular season hosting Trigg County in the 139 Bowl. Parker with Carnahan in the backfield. Look for a big dose of Jameis Carnahan this quarter especially. Handoff goes to Carnahan, cuts it back in the middle, good hole across the 30 and down at the 32-yard line. Carnahan still running just as fresh as he did in that first quarter.
And you're right, Dennis. We're going to see a healthy dose of the ground game here in the fourth quarter.
Ball spotted at the 32-yard line for Caldwell County. Second down and a short 2 for the Tigers. Caldwell County is going to come out with Bumpus on the near side. Looks like Chambliss on the far side. Extra tight end. Who do you think is going to get the football, Bob? Who would you put $1 on here?
Maybe Luke's going to keep it.
Carnahan with the handoff. Hits the line.
He's at the 30.
And he's going to be close to a first down. We'll see if they do it, and they are moving the chains. Lake Barkley CrossFit first down for Caldwell County. Lake Barkley CrossFit, where the athletes train. Tigers would like about a 6 or 7 minute drive to finish with points on this one, I'm sure. 10:30 left to play in the ball game. Two backs in the backfield with Parker. Carnahan in motion, handoff to Davis. And this one's going to be blown dead as Parker's knee must have hit the ground. And they'll spot that one back at the 30. Let's go down with a Go Green field report and verify that, but it looked like where Parker was, they called it dead.
Yeah, it was a low snap, and he had to go down and get it. And as he was trying to make the exchange, he just had a knee on the ground, and referee there to see it and blow that play dead. Don't forget, everyone, tomorrow morning, Saturday morning quarterback, live from the Biscuit Barn and Ice Cream Eatery. 9 o'clock right here on WPKY. We'll be talking with Tiger head coach Will Barnes and members of the Tiger coaching staff, so join us in the morning for that.
Two receivers each way for Caldwell County. Maddox in motion. And flags again.
I think Fort Campbell was offside on that one. Somebody on this side of the line got a quick jump.
And it is against the Falcons. That will give Caldwell County 5 yards. A lot of flags this second half. Pretty clean first half. Except when a team was getting ready to score, then it looked like the flags came out. 2nd and 10 for the Tigers. Under 10 to play. Two receivers to the left. Hand off to Carnahan. Cuts it back from the middle out to the outside. He's got some room across the 40, across midfield. Lowers his head at the 45 and gets down to the Falcon 43-yard line. Might put that down as a quick cut, Bob, because he hit that middle. The hole opened up, and he bounced it to the left. Picked up another Lake Barkley CrossFit first down to the Falcon 43-yard line. First down, Tigers.
22-yard gallop that time by Jameis.
Should be putting him close to that 100-yard mark for the night. Tigers look to the sideline for the play. You like where we're at 14-0, but a score here would almost, you feel like, ice it the way the defense has played tonight. Two receivers right, one to the left. Parker, hand off to Carnahan. Carnahan through a hole, tripped up, shoestring tackle at the 37-yard line. And, Bob, you got to take your hat off to that offensive line right now. They're really starting to control this game. You've got number 78.
That's Daniel Laurent out there.
Also in the game, looks like 71, Caden Alfred.
And 66 is Connor King, I think, that see his number.
73 is Cole Sherrill. So those guys, 78, let's get that one in. You said Daniel Laurent already on that
71 is
Caden Alfred.
Okay.
Caldwell County, 2nd down and about 4. Hand off to Davis. Davis is going to get the first down and then some, tripped up as he goes across the 35-yard line, falls forward to the 32. But that will be enough for another Lake Barkley CrossFit first down for the Tigers. Clock stops with 8:20 to move the chains. This is similar to that drive that Caldwell County put up against a very good Mayfield team last week where they kept the ball on the ground, moved the chains. The difference here is we need to end this one with some points on the board. Tigers taking their time, getting the play in from the sideline. Under 8 to go here from Fort Campbell. It's going to be Carnahan to the left side of Parker. Two receivers right, one to the left. Davis with the handoff across the 25. They may spot him right on the 25. Another nice run by Landon Davis.
7-yard gain on that play.
If you're Fort Campbell, you got to think that's unfair to send a kid that size with some good speed in this late in the ball game after they've started to wear down.
2nd and 3 for the Tigers.
Davis not the easiest to tackle, I'm sure. A small frame, but or not a tall frame, but plenty of muscle.
Well packed.
Carnahan back in as Davis goes out for a breather. Xavier Bumpus is the near side receiver. They'll put Carnahan on the same side. Parker takes a snap, drops back, looks into the end zone. He's got a receiver wide open. Touchdown, Tigers. Looks like Chambliss on the reception. Flag on the play, though. And Caldwell County not looking happy as it appears to go against the Tigers.
I think this is actually going to go on Fort Campbell. I think they're going to – not sure if the Tigers will – well, wait a minute. Let me see. Yeah, it's on Fort Campbell, and they're asking if it's going to be on the extra point or on the kickoff because this must be some kind of personal foul on the Falcons.
Nice throw by Luke Parker into the end zone. Chambliss with a great route was really wide open, 2 yards ahead of the nearest defender. Caldwell County's lead now at 20-0.
That was a 25-yard pass play.
Everybody's stats are going to look a little bit better next week as we'll get set for Murray. Nichols in to try the Goodwin Insurance extra point. And a flag from the sideline before they even snapped it.
This will be a snap infraction, so this will back up the try.
So a false start on the extra point attempt. Extra points brought to you by Goodwin Insurance, your locally owned independent insurance agency capable of handling all of your insurance needs. And Bob, I don't know if you've been seeing the lineup for the West Kentucky Hoops Fest coming up in December, but it gets more impressive every time something comes out.
I've not seen any of that yet so far, Dennis. I've been in my hole in the cave.
Kick is up on the extra point and good. 6:50 left in the football game. 21-0 Tigers back after this.
Celebrate 25 years of Planters Bank with 2,500 points. Introducing the Planters Bank 25-year celebration special. Earn 2,500 You Choose rewards points and get a free Visa check card with every new checking account open. And they'll add 2,500 You Choose rewards points to your Visa check card balance. That's like getting $25 in your account before you even get started. That's their way of celebrating 25 years with you. Planters Bank, 25 years of great things. Member FDIC.
At YourSportsEdge.com, we strive every day to continue to bring you the gold standard in high school sports coverage with more on your teams and your players.
Boy, did it show up there.
And while they are not gold, those Crystal Awards we have won for doing what we love to do are pretty cool too.
That's something we see every day.
The Kentucky Broadcasters Best Digital Product Award winner. YourSportsEdge.com.
And back here at Pryor Stadium in Fort Campbell. Fort Campbell now trailing 21-0 as Caldwell County gets set for the kickoff. Caldwell County going from right to left on the radio dial here in the fourth quarter, and now they're going to assess the penalty that was on that touchdown. 15-yard penalty now takes it from the Tiger 40 down to the Fort Campbell 45 where the Tigers will kick off. And for the call, Dennis Stevens.
Bob, I'm seeing touchdown. Not that a touchback on this kick. Nichols with plenty of leg to put this one into the end zone. He lines up after the penalty, the ball on the 45 of Fort Campbell. Approaches, and this one is going to go back into the end zone for a touchback. Fort Campbell will bring it out to the 20. Caldwell County with 21 second half points. Defense still throwing the shutout for the Tigers.
Guys, it was really funny on that snap infraction on the try earlier. Everybody on the sidelines wondering what the call is, and the referee comes over and says the center moved the ball an entire yard. So everybody kind of got a laugh out of that down here. And didn't matter. Able to get the PAT and 21-0 Tigers, and just let's grind out this last 6:50. And the stats crew would like to get someplace where it's a little warmer.
Preferably with food, right?
Yes. Seems like we've been here a long time tonight.
Well, we still wish well to the Fort Campbell player that was injured earlier in the first half. Had a pretty lengthy injury delay in that first half. Frederick over the middle, complete. Nice pass from Frederick to number 2. That is Jonte Almuid, the senior.
Nice grab.
Pretty decent coverage by Caldwell County, and Frederick put that one on a dime. First down, Fort Campbell. You can't celebrate too early. 21-0 looks good, but you don't want to give up a big play and have Fort Campbell climb back into this one. Darren Frederick, quick hit to the sideline, in and out of the hands. I started to call that complete, and it should have been, but Amari Waddy did not watch that one all the way in, and it bounces off the pads. 2nd and 10 coming up for Fort Campbell. Murray on tap next week back at Tiger Stadium. Last 2 regular season games are home games, and hopefully the first playoff game also a home game, but Caldwell County will have to put a bow on this one and then take care of Murray next week. Tigers with some pressure. They're going to bring Frederick down in the backfield at the 30. Ball comes loose, and it looks like Caldwell has it.
Jameis Carnahan. Johnny on the spot. Check that.
That's
Gus Fox.
Fox.
Yeah, Johnny on the spot. That ball popped out. All he had to do was bend over and pick it up and try to get out of there and run with it.
Thought they were going to whistle that one down as Frederick was wrapped up, but the ball ripped loose, and Gus Fox comes up with the fumble recovery for Caldwell County at the Falcon 26-yard line.
You mentioned those home games coming up. We've kind of been road warriors this year. 5 of the first 8 on the road, but at least it will come back to us as we get the home game against Murray next week, then an off week, and then Trigg County, and then, let's all hope a home playoff game.
That's what we're shooting for at this point with 6:18 left to go in this one. Caldwell County looking good in this one, 21-0.
Tell you what, you are not going to come out here with your pants above your knees.
It's the 3rd time that this young man, they may have to get him some longer pants during practice next week. 3rd time he's had to come off the field because of pants above the knees. So Fort Campbell will hustle in the substitute.
I think what they need, Dennis, is some blue duct tape. Make those pants look a little bit longer.
So we are set to play. 1st and 10, Caldwell County. Parker goes up for the high snap, takes it, a little pitch to Maddox. Maddox tries to get outside. Looked like a horse collar, but they're not going to call that one at this point. Lost back to the 30-yard line. Maddox could not turn that corner. So 2nd down and 13 coming up for the Tigers. Bob, that last drive was just what the doctor ordered. Took roughly 6 minutes off the clock. Ended up with the touchdown pass from Parker to Chambliss. Now Caldwell County with good field position still at the 30-yard line, but 2nd and 13 for the Tigers as they try to ice this one away. Carnahan, right side of Parker. Jameis takes the handoff, hits the left side of the line, and tumbles down to the 23-yard line. 3rd down coming up for the Tigers.
7-yard run on the play. Jameis has got to be over 100 yards right now.
Yeah, 100 and then some, I would say. He's had a big night tonight.
It's going to be 3rd and 7 for the Tigers.
Timeout on the field. We'll tell you about our timeout sponsor. That's Travis Construction and Concrete. They'll take care of all of your construction and concrete needs, including driveways, porches, foundations, basement walls, decorative concrete, remodels, and more. Good luck, Tigers, and here's to building a successful year from Travis Construction and Concrete. Bob, how's the construction and concrete going at your place at this point?
Well, if we could find somebody to go drive the concrete block truck from Hopkinsville to the lot, we'd have some concrete blocks to start on with our footers and that, all the things you encountered building the home, you never think that there would be a driver shortage.
Yeah, there's some of the craziest things that have slowed the progress down for so many people. But still, we appreciate everyone's well wishes and prayers and pats on the back for us, as a lot of us in that neighborhood rebuild through last year's tornado, and we appreciate everybody that says something of encouragement to us through all the time since then. Tigers with 5:11 on the clock, back out on the field after the timeout. High snap, handoff to Carnahan. Carnahan twists and turns, gets it down to the 15-yard line. It looks like enough for a first down from here.
Maybe inside the 15.
I think the signal is first down. Lake Barkley CrossFit first down.
Mark it at the 15. Gain of 8. He only needed 7.
Carnahan got hit a couple of times, just spun, kept the legs going, and picks up the first down for Caldwell County. More importantly, keeps his possession going and keeps that clock running as we go under 5 minutes to play here on base at Fort Campbell. 21-0 is your score. Caldwell County with the lead and looking to tack on. Carnahan out, Davis in the backfield for Caldwell County. Davis takes a handoff, and he's going to get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's about it. Landon Davis maybe lost the length of a football on that one, but not much more. We'll leave it at the 15-yard line.
Brings up 2nd and 10.
Second down coming up for the Tigers, but there is a timeout on the field by Fort Campbell. We'll take 30 seconds and be right back. This is Tiger Football on WPKY Princeton.
You'll find over 30 years experience to work for you at U-Ride in Princeton. They are hometown proud and ready to serve your vehicle needs from start to finish, and they do it all safely. You'll find variety and quality vehicles along with on-the-lot financing. And of course, you can always apply online at uridesales.com. Stop by or call for an appointment today with one of their friendly sales staff at U-Ride on the Marion Road in Princeton, 270-365-3018. Hometown proud. Go Tigers!
And we're back here at Friar Stadium. Both teams returning to the field after being at their respective sidelines. 4 minutes, 32 seconds to play in the game. 2nd and 10 for Fort Campbell. For the call, my friend Dennis Stevens.
Thank you, Bob. Caldwell County loading everything up on the right side of the field. Davis in the backfield. Parker with time, looks to the end zone. He's got a man, but overthrows out of the end zone. And incomplete. Third down coming up for the Tigers. I think that was Chambliss he was going for again, but that one, Chambliss well covered. He got open late in the end zone. That ball would have had to drop perfectly in the corner. Instead, it's going to be 3rd and 10 for the Tigers with 4:27 to play. Tigers looking to go to 2-6 on the year and send Fort Campbell to 2-5 on the season. Two receivers now to the left of Parker. Handoff goes to Davis. Davis hits the line, picks up 1, maybe 2 on the play. Let's go down for a Go Green Field report with Todd Griffin.
Well, I was just wondering, guys, if we might see another field goal attempt here, and here comes Timothy Nichols onto the field. So Tigers trying to go ahead and tack on 3 more points. I think it's safe to say that Caldwell has this one just about in the bag as we tick down right at the 4 minutes left in the game. Tigers up 21-0. So, we can start hyping that Murray game next week as being for a home playoff game.
That's what it is. For all intents and purposes, that's what's on the line next week. Murray was taking care of business against Ballard tonight big in the first half. I think that was 42-0 in the first half. Nichols approaches, low snap. Parker gets it set. Kick is up. And kick is good. Caldwell County puts 3 more on the board. 3:36 left to play. Tigers up 24-0 back after this.
I'm Clay Farless, and I'm a lender at Farmers Bank. From diapers to daycare to groceries, we are constantly looking for ways to save money at my house. We recently refinanced and saved more than a full percent on our interest rate on a loan that was just over a year old. Rates are near all-time lows, so whether you're refinancing or buying, now's the time to apply online at yournxtbank.com. Farmers Bank and Trust Company, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Welcome back to Friar Stadium here, Fort Campbell, Kentucky. Caldwell County with all its points here in the second half. 14 points in the third quarter. So far, 10 points here in the fourth quarter. Fort Campbell, meanwhile, being shut out through the first 3 quarters and roughly 8 minutes of the fourth quarter. Caldwell County lining up to kick off, and for the call, Dennis Stevens.
Thank you, Bob, as Nichols gets set to put this one in play. Tigers with a very good second half. Nichols approaches. Low line drive kick, bounces, and is fielded finally fallen on at the 13-yard line. That one fielded like a bad grounder attempt as it got through the spigot.
When the ball starts bouncing on the ground and you have no idea where it's going, you might want to get on it, which is what the Fort Campbell kid did.
Yeah, he didn't take any chances. Covered it at the 14-yard line, but that's going to pin the Falcons back a little bit farther than they thought. 3's on the time clock across the board. And Caldwell County feeling pretty good about this one, 24-0. And Bob, you just can't stress enough of what that game is going to mean next week when Murray comes to Princeton.
A big-time opportunity for the Tigers.
Snap is back to Frederick. Drops back. Throws over the middle. Incomplete. Had a receiver. Threw in back of him a little bit. And that was number 2, I think, Jonte Almued, that was unable to turn around and pick that one up. But you know what you're going to get out of Murray is a lot of runs. I think they've played games this year where they didn't throw a pass or maybe not one or two.
Well, guys, the tweet of the week last week was from Steve Springer at the Murray Ledger and Times. He said that Murray was using its air raid offense. It had passed the ball 5 times.
Yeah, you're not going to see much. Intercepted at the 20-yard line, and it's going to be taken down almost to the goal line. That's Gus Fox with the pick, standing right on the 20.
Oh, they marked him out at the 1.
So a 19-yard return on the interception.
I bet that's the official, Todd, that's checking these pants for Fort Campbell. His acute vision.
Well, what do you do here? 3:21 to go. You're on the 1-yard line.
You got to score.
Yeah, you got to punch it on in.
I mean, can't really take a knee at this point. I think you just run something simple and just if you score, you score.
Well, it's a packed I formation. You've got Davis as the blocking back, Carnahan at the deep side. Carnahan handoff, touchdown Tigers. That one a no-brainer.
That was Jameis.
Jameis Carnahan with the 1-yard touchdown.
Lots to talk about tomorrow on Saturday morning quarterback, though.
Oh, it's going to be a much better atmosphere. You're absolutely right. Second win of the year. And what's been a tough year for the Tigers, but you look at how things have played out. You start out 0-5, and next week's game is for a home field playoff game.
Just got to keep plugging sometimes.
Nichols in to try the Goodwin Insurance extra point attempt. Up and plenty of distance and good. 3:21 left to go in this one. Caldwell County has opened up the game here in the second half. It's 31-0 Tigers. Let's keep it here, John, if we've got enough, and talk to Todd a little bit on the sideline. Todd, you know Murray, and you know what they're going to bring. Pretty easy week for the Tigers, you think, in preparation for that when you don't look for Murray to come in and change what got them to that point.
Yeah, you know it's going to be a run-heavy attack from Murray next week, and Murray's been a team that's been a lot like Caldwell County this year. They're kind of hard to figure sometimes. They've played some good teams pretty close. They've played some other teams that, you think they might handle, and the Christian County game's the one that kind of stands out to me. Murray went over to Christian County and lost. I think it was 34-20 to Christian County. And, of course, the Tigers saw Christian County in the season opener, and, a lot of us thought that was a game, if the Tigers had cleaned up a couple of things, might have beat Christian County that night. So,
right.
We're trying to figure out just how close Caldwell County and Murray are this year. I think with Caldwell playing at home, it should be a pretty good game next week.
I like our chances against Murray if we can just contain that run. That's going to be the big key. If Murray controls the clock and ends up scoring on a lot of long drives, it's going to be a long night for the Tigers because we're not a come-from-behind team.
But we can't have the possessions like we had in the first half tonight where we had the really good field position and came up empty, 2, 3, 4 times.
Absolutely. Yeah, you can't have a first half like that because Murray could open up a lead and then you're playing from behind the rest of the night. Caldwell kicks it off. It's going to hit at the 22, be fielded at the 10, and brought down inside the 20. Bob, I think that was not Nichols. That was Sutton Ritchie with the kickoff. So one of 2 Tiger soccer players on the team doing some kicking this season. Tigers soccer team, the boys, took a disappointing loss to Hopkins Central earlier in the week, so it knocked them out of the district tournament and into their season, but still a fine year for Caldwell County's boys soccer team. Girls still in action, and girls got a pretty good draw. Todd, I don't know if you've probably talked about that on your sports reports, but Caldwell County's girls couldn't have got a much better seeding.
Now, the Lady Tigers drawing UHA over in the regional tournament Monday at 5:30, and Caldwell's girls have 2 wins over UHA already this season.
Pass from Frederick is incomplete, and to extend that a little bit, if Caldwell wins that game, the second game is also against a couple of teams they have some wins over.
Well, Trigg County and Union County, I believe, are on the same side of the bracket, and Trigg has had a really good year, perhaps their best season ever for girls soccer. Caldwell County got them by a goal early in the year, though, so if Caldwell County can get past UHA for a third time, and I think Trigg will handle Union in that other game, so that would be an interesting Caldwell-Trigg matchup in the semifinals, and one of those teams is going to the championship in that situation.
Absolutely. Frederick down the field, that one overthrown. Looking for Almued, and double coverage for Caldwell County was really good, so no chance on that one being caught. Third down and 10 coming up. 2:51 left to play in this one. Tigers up 31-0.
Now, all that being said on soccer, I think it's Henderson County's to lose in the girls' regional, and I think it's Henderson and Madisonville in the boys' regional, which will be played up at Henderson County next week. If anybody else gets into the mix, it's going to be a pretty big upset.
Who would have thunk Henderson on the girls' side being the favorite? Almost intercepted on the throw from Frederick. That was Chambliss making the break on that one and almost picked it off.
Madisonville looked awfully good in the 7th District Championship game last night at Butler. So, Madisonville, Henderson, I think those are the 2 best boys teams in the soccer second region, but I'm not sure if anybody can really challenge Henderson County's girls in that other bracket at the Stadium of Champions.
Usually not. Fort Campbell will punt this one away. Big high punt, takes a bounce at the 49-yard line of Caldwell County. It'll roll inside the 40 and be downed at the at the 37-yard line. Nice kick by Darren Frederick.
Been kind of a weird game tonight, hasn't it, guys? I mean, nothing at halftime. I'm not sure anybody thought we'd be sitting here 31-0 and about to get out of here with our second win of the season.
Well, I thought Caldwell County, I think we've talked about it some here. We'd had the opportunities in that first half. You interviewed Coach Barnes going off the field at halftime. He was not happy with the performance or the effort, we thought, the way he talked of the Tigers. They came out, looked like a different team in the first few minutes of that second half.
I think we have Jack Roach in at quarterback.
Yeah, it looks like some substitutes coming in.
And it is Roach at quarterback for the Tigers. As we have 2:37 left to play in this one. Handoff from Roach over to number 25 with a nice run on first down. 25 is Brian Barber, a sophomore. So Barber with a good run all the way out to the 45-yard line.
Pick up of 8 yards on that carry.
Lions still doing a great job opening up those holes. Eli Stevens and Cade Rowland, the receivers on the near side. Bumpus out of the ball game for Caldwell County. And Roach out of the shotgun, gets set for the snap. Roach is going to keep it himself, comes to the near side, stays on his feet across the 50, wants to stay in bounds and keeps pushing. Fort Campbell trying to knock him out of bounds. And in the process, it's Roach picking up a first down all the way down to the Fort Campbell 42-yard line. Lake Barkley CrossFit first down for Jack Roach.
7-yard gain on that play, and he looks like he could be a nice running back.
You could tell he was thinking during the end of that play, trying to get the down inside, but Fort Campbell pushed him outside, hoping to stop the clock. And they did mark it down inside, so clock still running at 1:20. Thought they had got out of bounds, but fortunately for Caldwell, did not. Tigers, 1st and 10 at the 42-yard line of Fort Campbell. I think the false start flag stayed in the pocket as Caldwell County is going to let the play clock tick down. Official's hand goes up with 5 seconds. Hand off to Barber. Barber looking to get outside on the right side. Dodges one tackle, but he's going to take a hit and get back just to the line of scrimmage. So Brian Barber, no gain on the carry. One more play will ice this one away as Caldwell County will pick up their second win of the season, but more importantly, second district win.
Tigers do not have to run a play, guys. I was watching the referee start his play clock, and he clicked it at about 39 seconds, so don't have to run one here. We can get out of here with a 31-0 victory.
All right, we can stand around and talk about how good a second half we played as Caldwell County will leave Fort Campbell with a 31-0 win over the Falcons. 2-1 in district play, setting up a big match with Murray next Friday night from Tiger Stadium. Todd, when you find Coach Barnes, you just give us a signal. But a great win for Caldwell County as it was 0-0 at halftime. You started to worry, are we going to be able to pull this one out to keep up that chance for that number 2 seed? But Caldwell County comes out with fire in the second half, and they take care of business 31-0 over Fort Campbell.
Coach Barnes talking with the Fort Campbell coach right now, guys, so we'll wait for that and then jump in afterward.
Caldwell County in the handshake line with Fort Campbell, looking to a big matchup with Murray Bob next week. That one's going to be fun. We expect a packed house for that one because a lot on the line for some kids that have battled back from an 0-5 start.
Absolutely, Dennis, and you really love the way they finished off the action tonight, just not having accomplished much in the first half, and to come out here and drop 31 points on Fort Campbell and kind of get you fired up for next week already.
Down to the field for a Go Green report with Todd and Coach Barnes.
All right, thanks, Dennis. Coach, at halftime, I think you were just a little disappointed in the play of the team, but you come out and really set the tone early in the second half and really control everything in the second half.
Yeah, really good job in the second half. They didn't score in the first half, but I just didn't really feel like we were playing as good as we could defensively, and played really good defense in the second half, and we're able to run the ball more consistently. And when you're able to do that consistently, then you can hit a pass to Chambliss there to get a score. So a lot better in the second half, and we're happy to win the ball game for sure.
So what did you say, or what was discussed at halftime to prompt the effort in the second half?
It made a couple of adjustments offensively to just a little thing that they had done we hadn't seen, and that helped a little bit. Really, we executed a lot better. We played a lot harder, and to me that was the difference.
Seems like you cut down on the penalties some in the first half. Or in the second half. Felt like in the first half we kind of shot ourselves in the foot several times.
Yeah, we did, and like we kind of talked about, we hit that 25, 30-yard area, and just for whatever reason, penalty or whatever, and couldn't continue to move the ball there. And that, we did that in the second half. Outside of that one drive there, we had a couple holdings in a row, but really I think just up front, played with a lot better effort, a lot more energy, and that was the difference from the first half to the second half.
Well, now we've got a couple of big home games coming up. The big one, Murray, next week. That's for a home playoff game now.
Yeah, that's obviously a really big game, and we'll get going on that this weekend, and enjoy this win, and that we did tonight what we were supposed to. It didn't always look pretty, but the end result is what we wanted it to be, and we put ourselves in position to set the end of the year up like we want to.
It always seems to me like when you come to Fort Campbell, it's just a different atmosphere. It's a little different plan getting here. Of course, you had fall break this week too. Do you think all those things kind of combined to just kind of lead to a slow start tonight?
Yeah, I got to figure something out there. I don't really know. It seems like that we've done that before. I don't know, trying to figure something out. But you're right. We just came out flat, and that is kind of why the whole first half went. And they're better. We've played that way coming over here before. We've just been a lot better than them. They're a lot better. They do a good job. Their coaching staff's doing a really good job with their program, and they're heading in the right direction. And when you don't come ready to play, that's what you get that first half that we had.
Should be a happy bus ride back tonight, though.
Yeah, we're going to celebrate every win we can get, and we're definitely happy.
All right, we'll talk about it more in the morning.
Thanks, Todd.
That's Tiger head coach Will Barnes. Caldwell County winning it tonight 31-0 here at Fort Campbell. And guys, I'm just going to go with the district record from now on. 2-1 in the district and playing for a home playoff game next week.
Yeah, we got to focus on the good. You're right, Todd, on that one, and that is fantastic. After this team had that rough start, to have the guys just keep chugging and putting in the work, and it's paying off right now. And that's all you could want at this point of the year is a shot, Bob, with a playoff spot on the line at home, and Caldwell County's put themselves in great position.
That's all you want, Dennis, is just that one game, and you can prepare for. And obviously, I don't think Murray has a twofold attack going on through there on the ground. It's basically 98% on the ground, and I'm sure they've been well scouted, and kids will be prepared, and I'm sure amped up, and it's a home game. That's the big thing.
So that's going to be our final tonight, 31-0. Caldwell County with the win over Fort Campbell. We'll take a short break. When we come back, we'll wrap this one up with the Trilogy Performance Sports postgame report next on WPKY.
Hey, sports fans, you wouldn't want your favorite sports team to play only offense or defense. When it comes to insurance, why settle for someone that can handle only your auto policy? At Goodwin Insurance, they take care of all your insurance needs. You deserve someone that provides comprehensive coverage and is working alongside you in your community. Contact them today for a quote.
Goodwin Insurance of Princeton, Cadiz, or Marion, or online at insurewithgoodwin.com.
Fortner Gas Company has been serving the propane needs of Western Kentucky for 70 years. You'll find offices in Princeton and Cadiz. They're your local and family-owned propane supplier. Browse their website to discover the many services and products available. You can shop in person or online, and they can answer any and all questions in person or on the phone. If they're already your propane supplier, they say thank you. If they're not, they would love to be. Fortner Gas Company, a family tradition of service since 1951.
For a delicious meal, try Kay's Kitchen in Princeton. They have great home cooking, just like Mom and Grandma used to do. Enjoy cooked-to-order breakfast every day, all day. Daily lunch specials include favorites like open-faced roast beef, grilled chicken tenderloins, country fried steak, smoked pork chops, and catfish and shrimp on Fridays. All your favorite veggies, too. And don't forget Kay's homemade desserts. Open Monday through Thursday, 5 to 2, Friday, 5 a.m. to 8 p.m., and Saturday, 5:30 to 11. Kay's Kitchen, 501 North Jefferson Street, Princeton, 1 block from the courthouse.
At YourSportsEdge.com, we strive every day to continue to bring you the gold standard in high school sports coverage with more on your teams and your players.
Where did it show up there?
And while they are not gold, those Crystal Awards we have won for doing what we love to do are pretty cool too.
That's something you see every day.
The Kentucky Broadcasters Best Digital Product Award winner. YourSportsEdge.com.